Chapter 2996. Book 1. Chapter 436. Battle Formation. The other Alliance Masters quickly received news that the Origin Child had appeared in the Eastern Alliance. They looked quite shocked and did not hesitate to gather together. The 12 people sat on chairs in the hall. The fat man, named Dongfang Kong, said, "Is this true? Why has the Origin Child appeared in our Eastern Alliance?" Dongfang Yu smiled and nodded as she told them how Zhao Fu had joined the Eastern Alliance. A serious-looking young man, called Dongfang Wan, said earnestly, "If it wasn't for the fact that he took the bronze shard from the treasury, we might not have been able to discover his identity. No wonder no one could find him. He's quite good at hiding his identity." Dongfang Yu smiled as she said, I didn't think that way back then, nor did I expect the Origin Child to appear in our Eastern Alliance." Dongfang Shua lightly laughed as she said, "It's fortunate that we found him, or else we wouldn't have known that the Origin Child had been here." The 6th Alliance Master Dongfang Xiao said in surprise, "I've seen him once and felt that he was quite extraordinary. I didn't expect him to have such a noble identity, so I was wrong." A tall man called Dongfang Tu smiled as he said, "Haven't we been having a headache over the evil immortals? If we have the Origin Child, we won't have to worry about the evil immortals at all. We can even befriend the Origin family and revitalize our Eastern Alliance." A voluptuous woman called Dongfang Ing lightly laughed as she said, "His appearance has solved a big problem for our Eastern Alliance, and it's an opportunity for us. We could take advantage of it." A red-clothed man named Dongfang Mi nodded. "Not only is the Child of Origin at the moment, but we can also meet him now, right?" Dongfang Yu smiled as she nodded and called Zhao Fu in. Zhao Fu bowed to everyone as he said, "Greetings, Alliance Masters." A voluptuous woman called Dongfang Hua quickly smiled as she said, "No need to be so polite. You're the Origin Child. We can't accept you." Dongfang Tu smiled as he said, "That's right. No need to be so polite." A cold-looking man called Dongfang Jian asked, "Apologies. Do you have anything that can prove your identity?" Everyone looked at Zhao Fu. Although they knew Zhao Fu's identity, they still had to confirm it to avoid making a fool of themselves. Dongfang Ye said, "You can temporarily use the power of the Son of Origin." Zhao Fu nodded. Boom! With a boom, an ancient, desolate, and chaotic power erupted from Zhao Fu's body. It formed an invisible pressure that enveloped the entire Divine Hall. Even though the Alliance Masters factions were far more powerful than Zhao Fu's, they still instinctively felt a sense of fear. This was true source energy, a terrifying power that only the Origin race possessed. No one doubted it and confirmed Zhao Fu's identity. Everyone else smiled. This was the Son of Essence, and with him, they would be able to obtain countless unimaginable benefits. As such, they were no longer worried about the evil immortal. Dongfang Tu called out, "Hurry and give the Son of Essence a seat." Now that everyone had confirmed Zhao Fu's identity, with Zhao Fu's noble status, they did not dare to slight Zhao Fu at all. More importantly, they needed help from Zhao Fu. A few heaven attendants personally brought a chair up. Zhao Fu did not stand on ceremony and sat on it. Dongfang Tu smiled as he said, "I heard that the Son of Essence is collecting Origin weapon shards. I wonder if this is true." Zhao Fu nodded. "I'm collecting Origin weapon shards. I heard that the Dongfang Alliance had something to do, so I came." Dongfang Tu smiled as he said, "Son of Essence, there's no need for you to go through all this trouble. As long as you tell us who you are, we'll be happy to give you the shards. Those bronze shards require source energy and are useless to us." Zhao Fu explained, "I don't want my identity to be revealed." Dongfang Hua smiled as he said, We can understand. That's right, Son of Essence. Your mission in this world is just to collect Origin weapon shards? Is there nothing else? For example, defeating a powerful opponent. Recently, many shocking geniuses have appeared in the primal chaos world. Dongfang Hua was not in a hurry to ask Zhao Fu to deal with the evil immortal. Instead, he wanted to probe Zhao Fu's attitude before making a decision. Zhao Fu looked at the Alliance Masters and replied, I know about this, but I don't plan on participating. After collecting all of the bronze shards, I'll most likely leave the primal chaos world. Everyone's hearts sank. They had thought that Zhao Fu would stay and fight with those shocking geniuses to determine who was the most terrifying person. They had never thought that Zhao Fu would not be interested at all. They did not know that the moon immortal, sun god, dragon son, and evil immortal were all Zhao Fu. Why would Zhao Fu be interested in them? Everyone looked at Dongfang Yiye. They knew that Dongfang Yiye had a close relationship with Zhao Fu. If they had Dongfang Yiye's help, things would be much simpler. Dongfang Yiye said, I want you to stay and help me deal with the evil immortal. Now that the evil immortal's bloodline has reached the 8th stage, we can't do anything to him. In actuality, this was what Zhao Fu and Dongfang Yiye had discussed beforehand. Zhao Fu still wanted to enter the evil immortal chaotic world to obtain the bronze shard. Zhao Fu said, That's not a problem, but I need to enter the evil immortal chaotic world to find the other bronze shard. This caused everyone to hesitate. The previous Alliance Master had given a strict order that no matter what happened, no one was allowed to enter the evil immortal chaotic world. Dongfang Qiu frowned and said, Is there a bronze shard in the evil immortal chaotic world? Dongfang Yiye said, according to the information I received, there's a bronze shard in the evil immortal chaotic world. Dongfang Qiu looked at everyone and asked, What do you all think? Dongfang Hui said, In any case, I don't have any objections. We can't deal with that evil immortal, so guarding the evil immortal chaotic world is useless. Dongfang Jian said seriously, Now, we need the help of the Son of Origin. Dongfang Qiu said, I think it should not be a problem to let the Son of Origin go in once. The Son of Origin is not that evil immortal. Perhaps we can find out what is inside through the Son of Origin. Dongfang Qiu said, That's right. We have guarded it for so many years, yet we don't know what is inside or what the purpose of guarding it is. Dongfang too looked at everyone and said, Since no one has any objections, we will agree to let the Son of Origin enter the evil immortal chaotic world. Hearing this, Zhao Fu revealed a trace of a smile. He could finally enter the evil immortal chaotic world. Chapter 2997. Book 1, Chapter 437. Death. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, Thank you. I will definitely do my best to help the Eastern Alliance. Hearing Zhao Fu's promise, everyone smiled. Dongfang too asked, When will the Son of Origin enter the evil immortal chaos world? I have to remind you that the evil immortal chaos world is a place of death for evil immortals, and it is very dangerous for even higher beings to enter. If you want the 12 of us to go with you, we can. It will be safer that way. Dongfang Qiu said, Won't it be too dangerous for the 12 of us to go in together? If we encounter any danger and there is an evil immortal outside, the consequences will be unimaginable. Dongfang Jian nodded. We can let the 6 of us go with the Son of Origin and leave the 6 of us to guard the Eastern Alliance against that evil immortal. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, No need, I want to go in alone. Zhao Fu was the evil immortal that the Eastern Alliance spoke of. It would naturally be safer for him to go in alone. However, if he entered the evil immortal chaos world, Zhao Fu's identity might be exposed, and Zhao Fu would be in much more danger. Everyone looked at Zhao Fu in shock. They had never thought that Zhao Fu would want to enter such a dangerous place by himself. Dongfang Jian looked at Zhao Fu and asked, Son of Origin, are you sure? It's very dangerous inside, and we don't want anything to happen to you. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, Don't worry, I won't be in any danger. As the Son of Origin, I have some life-saving methods. Hearing this, everyone nodded. The Origin family's abilities were extraordinary, and they would not have thought of it. After a simple discussion, Zhao Fu made some preparations to enter the evil immortal chaos world the next day. After the other Alliance Masters left, Dongfang Yu asked in concern, Are you really confident? I don't want anything to happen to you. Zhao Fu nodded, Don't worry. Dongfang Shuyue lightly smiled as she said, He's going to the evil immortal chaos world tomorrow, so you can have some fun before he leaves. That's right, I also want to see if he's as powerful as you say he is. If you mind, then forget it. Dongfang Yu said with a slightly red face, I don't mind. You're my best friend, so I can share him with you. Plus, you are the one who discovered his identity this time. Dongfang walked over and asked curiously, "What are you talking about?" Dongfang Xiuyue said with a chuckle, "I want to experience the power of Source. Would you like to join us?" Dongfang Yu slightly frowned. Although she was willing to share Zhao Fu with Dongfang Xiuyue, the others were not, especially Dongfang Hua, who had a good figure. She was afraid that Dongfang Hua would take Zhao Fu away. Dongfang Xiuyue saw through Dongfang Yi's thoughts and said with a chuckle, "It's good for him and you, and even for the Eastern Alliance. Don't worry, we won't take him away." Dongfang Yu thought for a moment and nodded. Dongfang Xiuyue said with a smile, called Dongfang Ying later, and asked her to come over. In the room, the four women surrounded Zhao Fu. Dongfang was said with a smile, "Take off your cloak." Hearing this, Zhao Fu helplessly took off his cloak, revealing his perfect face. Dongfang was said in surprise, "This is the perfect appearance of the Source Clan. It's the first time I've seen such a beautiful face, and it doesn't seem to belong in the mortal world." Dongfang Ying said with a red face, "I've never seen it either." Dongfang Xiuyue said with a chuckle, "His appearance isn't the main point. The main point is his power of Source. Yu became so beautiful because he used his power of Source to change her physique. Not only did she become beautiful, but her physique also became stronger than ours." Dongfang looked at Zhao Fu in surprise. "Is he really that powerful?" Dongfang Xiuyue said with a smile, "Of course, the power of Source is more powerful than we imagined." Dongfang Yu said with a red face, "All right, don't waste time. He's going to the evil, immortal, chaotic world tomorrow." Dongfang Xiuyue laughed. The next day, Zhao Fu and the four women came out of the room. The four women's faces were rosy, and they looked even more beautiful. Their relationship had become even better. Zhao Fu followed behind them and walked in a direction. They came to a barren land, where there was a very long stone path with stone pillars on both sides. At the end of the stone path was a circular platform that was a few hundred meters wide. There was a 12-meter tall stone wheel on it, and there were many insects and beasts engraved on it. This was the main entrance to the evil, immortal, chaotic world. The other Alliance Masters also came here. Dongfang Yu looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Be careful." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. Dongfang Xiuyue smiled and said, "When you come back, we'll serve you. I've become quite infatuated with you, so you can't have anything happen to you." Dongfang was smiled and said, "Me too. Remember us when you're in there." Dongfang Ying said shyly, "I'll wait for you to come back." The Eastern Alliance knew about what had happened between them and Zhao Fu, and they were quite happy to see it. This was beneficial to stabilizing the relationship between the Eastern Alliance and Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "I understand." Dongfang too said, "Let's open the seal." Everyone nodded and came before the stone wheel. They lined up and took out 12 command medallions. The 12 command medallions were the original ones, and they were made of gemstones. The 12 people sent a bit of their power into them, and the 12 command medallions flew out of their hands and towards the stone wheel. The 12 command medallions gave off different kinds of lights and looked like 12 orbs. They flew towards the stone wheel and seemed to be embedded into it. Boom! A massive explosion sounded out as the stone wheel gave off a massive aura and slowly floated up, and the 12 orbs gave off an even more intense light. The inside of the stone wheel started to twist and gradually became blood red. Traces of madness, twisted, perverted, and bloody aura came out, causing the Alliance Master's hairs to stand on end. Even though the evil immortal was dead, the remnant power within the evil, immortal, chaotic world was incredibly terrifying. Zhao Fu also felt some pressure. Even though his evil immortal bloodline had reached the 8th stage, because of his cultivation, the evil immortal's power that he gave off was not as powerful as this evil immortal's power. This evil immortal's power was at its peak, and Zhao Fu's evil immortal's power was still growing. Zhao Fu did not know what would happen after entering, but no matter what, Zhao Fu had to go in at least once. After all, there were things left behind by the evil immortal and the bronze shard. Zhao Fu walked towards the stone wheel and entered the blood-red barrier before disappearing. Everyone else started to wait outside. Looking at the blood-red barrier, they felt quite nervous and hoped that nothing would happen. Chapter 2998, Volume 1, Chapter 438. Ancient ruined Zhao Fu entered the evil immortal chaos world and came to a blood-colored broken world. The sky was blood-colored and there were giant cracks. The ground was in ruins, and there were pieces of wood and stones all over the ground. There were no plants at all. As soon as Zhao Fu entered, the blood-colored aura surged towards him. It felt quite familiar. This was where the evil immortal died, and Zhao Fu was the evil immortal's legatee. One could say that he was the owner of this place. Not only did the blood-colored aura not attack Zhao Fu, but it listened to Zhao Fu's orders and allowed Zhao Fu to absorb it as he pleased. However, Zhao Fu was not interested in this and flew to the side. Zhao Fu's main task was to find the bronze shard and see what was in the evil immortal chaos world. Zhao Fu guessed that there was definitely something important, or else the Eastern Alliance would not place so much importance on it. He came to a flat area, and Zhao Fu squatted down. He pressed a hand on the ground, and a golden light wave quickly spread out. Zhao Fu carefully sensed this region and found that there was nothing there. Zhao Fu flew to another region and used the same method, but there was nothing there either. Zhao Fu frowned. According to the information he had received, there was a bronze shard in the evil immortal chaos world, but he did not know if this information was accurate or not. However, he felt that there was nothing in the evil immortal chaos world. After flying for so long, he had not met a single living being or any danger. Didn't they say that even experts could die in there? In actuality, what Zhao Fu did not know was that if he, the evil immortal's legatee, did not enter, the evil immortal's power would become chaotic and violent. It would twist space and be filled with all sorts of cracks and traps. Ordinary people who entered would quickly be torn apart by the cracks in space or fall into the traps and get lost in the endless space. The most terrifying thing was the evil immortal's power. It had terrifying corrosive power, and ordinary people would not be able to block it at all. After Zhao Fu, the evil immortal's legatee, entered, everything became very calm and there was no danger at all. After searching for a while, Zhao Fu did not find anything. Zhao Fu decided to head deeper into the evil immortal chaos world. Suddenly, Zhao Fu sensed something and flew towards a place, arriving in front of a large hole. This large hole was more than 20 meters tall, and it was surrounded by green rocks. The surface was full of bumps and hollows, and it gave off a fishy smell. Zhao Fu came here because he sensed that the bronze shard was here. This hole was obviously very dangerous, and Zhao Fu did not know what kind of monsters lived here. After thinking about it, Zhao Fu decided not to go too deep, or else he would not be able to escape even if something happened. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand, and countless flames spun out, forming a massive fireball that gave off a terrifying heat. Xiao! Zhao Fu threw the massive fireball into the cave, and the fireball lit up the cave walls as it flew deeper into the cave. Bang! A huge sound rang out, and a huge wave of heat surged out from the cave entrance, blowing away some of the rocks and dust. Zhao Fu looked at the hole and felt like a terrifying creature was about to charge out, so he quickly retreated. A 7-meter-tall, 10-meter-long half-man, half-scorpion monster ran out. The monster's upper body was that of a man's, and he looked quite ugly. He had a muscular body, and his lower body was a green shoe that gave off a powerful aura. What caught Zhao Fu's attention was that there was a bronze shard stabbed into its chest. There were many green meridians extending out, and it seemed like the bronze shard had fused with this monster. This monster was the expert who had died in the past. Under the effects of the bronze shard, his corpse had absorbed large amounts of evil immortal power, giving birth to a new life. He was also really strong and had Dao Realm strength. Under normal circumstances, if Zhao Fu met a Dao Realm expert, he would definitely not be able to beat them, so he could only choose to run. But Zhao Fu wasn't planning to run because he had the two powers that made up this monster. More accurately speaking, he was the owner of these two powers. The monster looked at Zhao Fu and ferociously charged over. Zhao Fu immediately released a wave of source energy, causing the bronze shards to fly towards the monster. Sensing the bronze shards, the monster stopped and revealed a crazed and greedy expression. He felt that if he could devour all of the bronze shards, he would become the most terrifying monster in the world. The bronze shards surrounded the monster, and each of them gave off a golden light and immense power. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and grabbed. Boom! A massive explosion sounded out as the shards exploded out with immense power, forming a circle that covered the monster. The monster vigorously swung its sharp claws, sending out sharp arcs of light that clawed at the circle, but it was useless. The monster opened its mouth and spat out countless amounts of green liquid. The green liquid contained shocking poison power, and when it landed on the circle, it started to melt. Seeing that a large hole was about to appear in the circle, Zhao Fu stretched out his hand and pushed forwards, sending a massive wave of source energy into the other shards. The bronze shards gave off an even more intense light and formed an even thicker circle. The monster continued to spit out more green poison, but it was very weak against the circle, and it would take a long time to melt it. Zhao Fu stretched out his hand and grabbed. The bronze shards shot out rays of green light, bringing with them immense power as they shot towards the monster from all directions. The monster spread out its hands and released a hexagonal defensive barrier that covered its body. Bang! 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 Sounds rang out as the rays of green light hit the defensive barrier and pierced through it, but they were unable to deal much damage to the monster. Zhao Fu controlled the bronze shards to shoot out even more intense rays of light that pierced through the monster's body. The monster let out a series of screams. At that moment, the bronze shard in its chest gave off a massive wave of power, and its meridians gave off light as powerful energy quickly healed the monster's injuries and increased its power. Boom! A muffled explosion sounded out as Zhao Fu controlled the circle to shrink and compress towards the monster. The monster's hands and scorpion tail vigorously pressed against the circle, making it impossible for the circle to shrink. Zhao Fu controlled the bronze shards to give off boundless light that covered the monster's body and suppressed the bronze shard's power within its body. Roar! The monster desperately resisted and gave a massive roar as countless rays of green light shot out from its body, and a massive wave of power slowly pushed open the circle. Even though Zhao Fu was the owner of these two powers, the monster's own power was simply too great. Zhao Fu stretched out his other hand and a blood-red aura flowed out and flew towards one of the spheres. Chapter 2999, Volume 1, Chapter 439, Death. The blood-red aura wrapped around the sphere, and a powerful, evil, immortal power spread out, forming an even more powerful force that pressed down on the monster. The monster was unable to resist, and its arms and tail were being compressed. Zhao Fu's expression was calm as he controlled the two powers to continue pressing down on the monster. The monster looked at Zhao Fu savagely, and the stinger on its scorpion tail gave off a cold light. With a bang, it pierced through the sphere of light and stabbed toward Zhao Fu like a black shadow. Zhao Fu was shocked and hurriedly retreated. Bang! The scorpion tail hit the ground, creating a large crater. Zhao Fu looked at the scorpion tail in shock. The thick sphere was actually unable to block the scorpion tail. Looking at the deep green light that the stinger gave off, it was most likely that the stinger was extremely terrifying and could easily pierce through the sphere. Swish! The scorpion tail quickly shot towards Zhao Fu's chest. An air-piercing sound rang out. Zhao Fu dodged to the side, and his palm gave off a light that was like a black blade, slashing down on the scorpion tail. With a clang, Zhao Fu was unable to cut through the scorpion tail and could only leave a wound on it. The scorpion tail swung with force. Bang! Zhao Fu was sent flying by the scorpion tail and suffered some light injuries. Fortunately, there were two powers suppressing the monster. Otherwise, this attack might have seriously injured Zhao Fu. The scorpion tail continued to shoot toward Zhao Fu. This time, Zhao Fu took out a sword made of crystals. It was the sword of 10,000 swords. He slashed down with force, sending out a rainbow-colored sword light that slashed towards the scorpion tail. Pooh! With the terrifying sharpness of the sword of 10,000 swords, the scorpion tail was cut off and green blood flowed out from the stump. The monster cried out in pain. However, the severed tail quickly grew back. The monster had also used the evil immortal's power, so this attack did not cause much damage to it. The scorpion tail continued to shoot toward Zhao Fu, and it was still as fast as before. It gave off a fishy smell and was most likely highly poisonous. If he was hit by it, the consequences would be quite severe. Zhao Fu swung the sword in his hand, bringing out a sword light. Bang! A loud sound rang out as the two collided, and a shockwave spread out in all directions. Zhao Fu immediately slashed out a few more sword lights towards the scorpion's tail. The scorpion tail swung, bringing with it a powerful force, shattering the sword lights and continuing toward Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu dodged to the side and dodged again. The scorpion tail shot into the ground. Zhao Fu did not want to fight with this scorpion tail, so he simply cut open his palm. With a wave of his hand, countless drops of blood sprayed out and shot towards the huge ball. The drops of blood shot into the ball, and the many bronze shards exploded out with terrifying power. This was because Zhao Fu had used his origin blood to activate the bronze shard's power. The ball became incredibly heavy, and the ground was unable to withstand it and started to crack. The monster within the ball felt a massive pressure, and its body was compressed into a ball. The monster desperately struggled and gave off powerful waves of power. At the same time, the scorpion tail split into three, looking like three black blurs that gave off immense power as they shot toward Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu flew into the sky and avoided this attack. He did not attack the scorpion tail. After all, even if he cut it off, it would quickly grow back. Instead, he threw out the 10,000 swords in his hand. Shing, 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 as the 10,000 swords flew out, they gave off rainbow-colored sword lights and split into 24 flying swords that quickly flew to the side of the ball. They split into 24 directions and surrounded the ball of light, giving off terrifying rainbow-colored sword lights and making people feel terror. The three scorpion tails once again shot towards Zhao Fu from below. Facing such an attack, Zhao Fu did not bother with the scorpion tails and instead stretched out a hand and vigorously grabbed. Swish, swish, swish! The 24 flying swords gave off immense power as they shot towards a monster within the ball, giving off rainbow-colored rays of light. In that instant, they pierced through the monster's body, causing blood to fly everywhere. The monster's body had been pierced by the 24 swords, and its insides had been cut by sword energy. It no longer had any life. The three scorpion tails attacking Zhao Fu powerlessly fell to the ground. They landed on the ground, kicking up some dust. Seeing the monster die, Zhao Fu gave a trace of a smile and felt quite excited. This was the second of the three remaining bronze shards. He waved his hand, and the 24 swords and the bronze shard flew into Zhao Fu's body and disappeared. Without the support of the bronze shard, the ball disappeared, and the monster's corpse powerlessly fell to the ground. Zhao Fu came before the monster and looked at the furious expression on its face. Zhao Fu did not mind and waved his hand, sending out a black light that slashed open the monster's chest. The bronze shard slowly flew out and floated in front of Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu stretched out his hand and held the bronze shard. Now, there is only one more bronze shard before Zhao Fu would be able to collect all of the bronze shards. That way, Zhao Fu would be able to repair his origin armament. Zhao Fu looked at the monster and thought about the two types of energy that made up the monster. A wave of energy flowed out of his palm, forming 8 blood-red twisted runes. Zhao Fu pressed his palm against the monster's chest, and a blood-red energy spread out. The monster's injuries quickly healed, and it gradually regained some of its aura of life. If an ordinary person saw this scene, they would be incredibly shocked, as this was allowing the monster to come back to life. However, this was not a true resurrection, as Zhao Fu had given the monster a new life. This monster was now a completely different monster from before, and it would only listen to Zhao Fu's orders. If he wanted to revive someone from the dead, he would need to use the reincarnation and death powers. Zhao Fu had the reincarnation power, and if he could control death and gain a deep comprehension of those two powers, he might be able to revive someone from the dead. Large amounts of evil celestial power flowed into the monster, causing its injuries to completely recover. Its body slowly moved, and it respectfully looked at Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu smiled in satisfaction as he retracted his hand, and the monster knelt in front of Zhao Fu. Now that the monster's strength had fallen to the spirit realm, perhaps it was because Zhao Fu had taken the bronze shard. Zhao Fu did not mind it too much. He had given it life because he wanted to have another helper. Now that he was going deeper into the evil celestial chaos world, Zhao Fu did not know what he would encounter. Zhao Fu hoped that there would be some treasures. After all, it had taken so much effort to come here, and if he only obtained a few things, he would feel quite disappointed. Zhao Fu sat on the monster's body and said, "Let's go." The monster understood Zhao Fu's intentions and headed deeper into the evil celestial chaos world. However, they did not encounter any living creatures on the way, as if the monster was a miracle in the evil celestial chaos world. Chapter 3000, Volume 1, Chapter 440. After walking for a while, Zhao Fu finally found something and came to a huge cave. This cave was larger than the previous one and had a height of several hundred meters. The walls of the cave were a kind of dark green soil, and the inside of the cave was dark with a gust of cold air coming out. There was no need to think about it to know that there must be something very powerful inside. This time, Zhao Fu intended to sneak in, mainly to obtain treasures quietly. Last time, he knew that there were bronze fragments inside, so he only needed to lure the monster out. It was not good to carry the monster with such a big body, so Zhao Fu asked him to guard the door. Zhao Fu hid his breath and flew into the cave, only to find a lot of spider silk inside. Was there a spider-like monster inside? Continuing to fly forward, Zhao Fu came to a large space with piles of bones around it. In the middle lay a 100-meter-tall monster. The monster's upper body was that of a woman, with lush dark green hair. Her face was very beautiful, and her figure was very attractive. Her lower body was that of a light green spider, exuding a very powerful aura. However, Zhao Fu felt that this monster should have been seriously injured and was now slowly recovering. Zhao Fu was not too worried and began to search the cave to see if there were any other treasures. He found a dark green hexagonal crystal under the monster's body. It was 5 meters long and emitted a faint light. It felt like the most important treasure of the monster, or else it would not have been placed in that position. Zhao Fu thought for a while and quietly approached the monster, ready to use nothingness at any time. As long as Zhao Fu used nothingness, it would be difficult for ordinary immortals to find him, so it should be very easy to avoid the monster's perception. This was also the reason why Zhao Fu dared to enter this place. He came in front of the monster and looked at its upper body, which was still very attractive, but its lower body was frightening. Zhao Fu came to the dark green crystal and planned to put it in his storage ring. Suddenly, the monster sensed something and opened a pair of dark green eyes, staring at the crystal under it. Zhao Fu had already used nothingness and disappeared on the spot. What surprised Zhao Fu was that the monster's eyes were actually looking at Zhao Fu's position, as if it knew where Zhao Fu was. What's going on? Zhao Fu clearly knew that the monster had discovered him. The monster looked at Zhao Fu with an evil smile and said, "Boy, come out quickly, or I'll eat you now." Zhao Fu thought for a while and condensed his body from nothingness. The monster looked at Zhao Fu and asked in confusion, "Why do you have my master's abilities?" Zhao Fu understood why. This monster was the first evil immortal subordinate, which was why it could sense Zhao Fu's location. Since they were the evil immortal's people, things would be easier to deal with. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I'm the evil immortal's legatee." The monster looked at Zhao Fu and said, Prove it to me. Hearing that, Zhao Fu stretched out his hand, and a wave of evil immortal power surged out, forming 8 distorted blood-red runes that hovered in the air. The monster said in shock, 8 forbidden blood art. I never thought that master would leave behind an inheritance. Zhao Fu said with a smile, not only did I obtain the evil immortal's inheritance, I've also raised the evil immortal's bloodline to the highest level. The monster looked shocked. Really? No, the power you just used was the 8th level of the evil immortal's bloodline. However, your strength is too weak. Back then, when Master's bloodline reached the 8th level, he was already an expert. Zhao Fu said awkwardly, I've only obtained the evil immortal's bloodline for a few years, and my cultivation did not increase by much. The monster looked shocked. You mean to say that you've only obtained the evil immortal's bloodline for a few years? You've already raised the evil immortal's bloodline to the final level? How is that possible? Back then, Master had spent countless years and devoured countless high-grade bloodlines. Zhao Fu said with a smile, it's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. Right now, I want that green crystal in your hand. The monster looked down at the green crystal and said, it contains a large amount of evil blood spider's power. Why should I give it to you? Zhao Fu looked quite startled. As the evil immortal successor, I should be your master. Is it not enough for me to take something from you? The monster said, I only acknowledge master. Even though you are master's successor, I do not acknowledge you. Hearing that, Zhao Fu felt quite awkward and did not know what to say. It was the first time he had encountered such a thing. His identity as a successor was useless. However, after thinking about it, he decided to forget about it. He did not know what this crystal was for, and he could not defeat the monster and could not obtain the item. As such, he could only leave. The monster suddenly smiled and said, we can make a deal. Didn't you raise the evil immortal's bloodline to the 8th level? I need your pure evil immortal's power to recover from my injuries. If you are willing to provide it to me, I will give you the evil blood crystal. Hearing this, Zhao Fu nodded. Sure, but how can I give you the evil immortal's power? The monster evilly smiled and pounced toward Zhao Fu. After more than a day, the evil blood spider's face was rosy as it lay on the many corpses. Its body had become the size of a normal human, and it smiled as it said to Zhao Fu, who was in its arms, the deal is done. You can take the evil blood crystal. Also, let me tell you, this thing is very important to you. Zhao Fu asked, what's the use of it? The evil blood spider lightly smiled and said, I can tell you, but we have to make another deal. Zhao Fu frowned and said, there's no need. I will figure it out myself. The evil blood spider did not force him and said with a smile, all right. Zhao Fu took the evil blood crystal and left the cave. However, just as he came out, he saw a 100-meter-tall monster eat the half-human, half-scorpion monster that he had resurrected. The creature that had eaten the monster that Zhao Fu had resurrected was also a half-human, half-scorpion monster. This monster's upper body was that of a woman, and it was over 100 meters tall. It had a head of long black hair, a pair of black eyes, a voluptuous figure, and white and tender skin. Its lower body was that of a black scorpion that had a metallic luster, and it looked very evil. The evil blood scorpion's black eyes looked at Zhao Fu, who had come out. It grabbed the monster that Zhao Fu had resurrected and ate it as it said, what are you doing inside? So slow. Zhao Fu slightly frowned. The monster that he had resurrected had been eaten just like that, and he felt a bit displeased. The evil blood scorpion looked at Zhao Fu's expression and smiled as it said, why are you so stingy? I just ate an insect beast, and it even resurrected after death. Zhao Fu's attitude towards the resurrected monster was that it was a tool. He looked at the 5-meter-long, hexagonal crystal on the evil blood scorpion's chest and asked, what's the use of the crystal on your chest? The evil blood scorpion felt strange as it said, didn't the fellow inside tell you? This is an evil blood crystal, an item condensed by an 8 forbidden blood beast. If you want to go to the place where Master died, you need this thing, or else you won't be able to get close. Chapter 3001. Book 1, Chapter 441. Zhao Fu suddenly thought of something and understood what these two monsters were. When his evil immortal bloodline reached its final stage, the 8 twisted runes in his body had come to life and turned into 8 different insects. Those insects were the 8 forbidden blood beasts. However, Zhao Fu's 8 forbidden blood insects were in the initial stage, while the 2 massive monsters were mature 8 forbidden blood beasts that belonged to the evil immortal. The evil blood scorpion ate the monster as it smiled and said, "Tell me, what are you doing inside? Why did you take so long?" Zhao Fu replied, "She needed my evil immortal power to heal her injuries, so it took some time." The evil blood scorpion lightly laughed and said, "Is that so? I want it too." Zhao Fu said, "I want your evil blood crystal." The evil blood scorpion smiled and said, "All right, deal." At that moment, the evil blood spider walked out and looked at the evil blood scorpion as it evilly smiled and said, "You came quite quickly." The evil blood scorpion smiled and said, "I clearly found him first, and he just came from my territory." The evil blood scorpion said, "I don't care, but I want to collect some toll money." The evil blood scorpion smiled and said, "It's fine, but I want to complete the deal with him first. You can ask him later." The evil blood spider lightly laughed and said, "All right, hurry up." The evil blood scorpion's black eyes looked at Zhao Fu. Another day passed, and the evil blood scorpion's body became the size of a normal person. It lay in Zhao Fu's embrace in satisfaction and said, "In this aspect, you're much better than our master. I'm somewhat infatuated with you." The evil blood scorpion smiled and said, I feel like I'm addicted. I originally just wanted the power within his body, but if you were as crazy and perverted as our master, we would like you even more. It wouldn't be a problem for us to submit to you." Zhao Fu frowned and did not want to talk about this matter anymore. He said, "Give me the evil blood crystal. I'm leaving." The evil blood scorpion took out the finger-long evil blood crystal and handed it to Zhao Fu as it smiled and said, "If you need anything, you can call us. Of course, we also charge for this service." Zhao Fu didn't say anything and continued to fly toward a certain place. Now, Zhao Fu's goal was clear, and that was to find the 8 forbidden blood beasts, obtain their blood crystals, and enter the depths of the evil immortal chaos world. Zhao Fu arrived in front of a platform. There was a layer of white fur on the platform, and it felt very soft. There were 2 8 forbidden blood beasts entangled on it. One of them had long, dark blue hair, a tall and slender figure, and an androgynous face. It had a pair of dark blue butterfly wings and a butterfly-like dark blue tail. There were patterns on its wings and tail, and it looked very pretty. One of them had a slim figure and short, fluffy white hair. She had a pair of white, bug-like eyes and a pair of moth-like white wings on her back. She also had a moth-like tail, and she looked very pure. There was a blue crystal and a white crystal on their chests, respectively. Zhao Fu looked at the 2 women and said, "I am the successor of the evil immortal, and I have come to take your blood crystals." Evil blood butterfly hugged the evil blood moth as she looked at Zhao Fu and said, "If you want to take the blood crystals, it'll depend on whether you have the ability or not. Also, I'm not someone that any man can touch. Show me what you've got, or I'll eat you. Don't think that just because you're master successor, I won't eat you." The evil blood moth said from within evil blood butterfly's embrace, "That's not very good. After all, he's master successor." Evil blood butterfly lightly laughed and said, "If he's trash, he'll lose master's face. It's better to let us eat him and increase our power. I'm looking forward to the taste of master's successor's flesh. I'm sure it'll be delicious." Evil blood moth looked at Zhao Fu and did not object as she said, "Oh." Zhao Fu looked at evil blood butterfly and said, "How can I prove myself?" Evil blood butterfly faintly smiled, and a pair of deep blue wings released many motes of light, forming a dozen or so 2-meter-wide butterflies that flew toward Zhao Fu. They did not seem to be in any danger. Zhao Fu did not say anything. He stretched out a hand, and an evil immortal power flowed out. 8 blood-colored runes formed a circle that gave off a faint blood-red light. At this moment, The dozen or so blue butterflies flew over extremely quickly. Their wings were as sharp as blades as they sliced towards Zhao Fu, leaving behind blue trails in the air. Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and pushed forward. A wave of blood-red light spread out. When the blue butterflies flew into the blood-red light, they immediately collapsed into a blue aura and dissipated. Evil Blood Butterfly became a bit interested. She pointed out with her finger, and a blue beam of light shot toward Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu poured a powerful energy into the blood-red runes. The 8 runes gave off an intense blood-red light and formed a circular protective barrier. Bang! When the blue beam of light hit the blood-colored protective shield, it dissipated and did not cause any damage to the shield. Zhao Fu took a step forward, and the 8 blood-red runes automatically arrived behind Zhao Fu, forming a circle. Countless blood-red lights shot out, and a crazily twisting, evil-killing power flooded out, submerging the ground. Evil Blood Butterfly and Evil Blood Moth felt this power and were somewhat surprised. They could see that Zhao Fu's bloodline had reached the final stage. Zhao Fu looked at the 2 women and said, "I wonder if I have the qualifications now." Evil Blood Butterfly beckoned with her hand and smiled as she said, "You are the first person to raise the evil immortal bloodline to the final stage besides Master. Come, you have the qualifications. Now let's see if you are as powerful as Master." 2 days later, Evil Blood Butterfly smiled in Zhao Fu's arms and said, I underestimated you. I take back what I said before." Zhao Fu said, "Give me the blood crystals." Evil Blood Butterfly smiled and said, "Why are you in such a hurry?" Zhao Fu said, "I still have to go get the blood crystals from the others." Evil Blood Butterfly smiled and said, "I'll give you the positions of the others. You don't need to go find them. Go into the depths of the forbidden area and obtain Master's power as soon as possible. I will recognize you as my new Master." Zhao Fu asked curiously, "Master's power?" Evil Blood Butterfly nodded and said, "Although Master is dead, he's still left behind a massive amount of evil immortal power. This blood immortal power is also the core of this space. If you can obtain that power, you will become the new evil immortal, and we will recognize you." Zhao Fu understood. No wonder the 8 forbidden flesh beasts treated him like this. It turned out that they would only recognize him if he obtained the evil immortal power. Evil Blood Butterfly looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "How many blood crystals have you obtained so far?" Zhao Fu told her what had happened. Evil Blood Butterfly told him the positions of the 4 remaining 8 forbidden blood beasts. Zhao Fu did not waste any time and immediately flew toward the place. Chapter 3002, Book 1, Chapter 442. Battle Formation. Zhao Fu first came to a blood pool, and there was a woman soaking in the blood pool. She was leaning against the wall of the blood pool, and her hands were spread out. She had long, fiery red hair that was slightly curled, and she had a beautiful face and a sexy figure. She gave off a domineering aura, and what was terrifying was that her lower body was a fiery red centipede. Part of it was exposed, and part of it was submerged in the blood pool. Just as Zhao Fu flew over, she opened her red eyes and gave a trace of smile as she said, "What's up?" Zhao Fu said, "I've come to take your blood crystal." The evil blood puppet laughed as it said, "Give me a reason." Zhao Fu gave off a powerful aura as he said, "I'm the evil celestial legatee. Is that enough?" The evil blood puppet lightly laughed as it said, "Of course not. I already know who you are." Zhao Fu's expression was cold as he asked, "What do you want?" The evil blood puppet looked at Zhao Fu and smiled as it said, "Be my slave." Zhao Fu frowned. "No." The evil blood puppet laughed as it said, "Then you can leave as well." Zhao Fu felt quite angry, and he thought for a moment before saying, "How about we make a bet? If you win, I'll be your slave. If I win, I only need your blood crystal. Do you dare?" The evil blood puppet laughed. "Why wouldn't I dare? How do you want to bet?" Zhao Fu said, "I can use my evil celestial legatee's power to condense a clone, and you can also use your power to condense a clone. We'll see who's stronger and who's weaker." The evil blood puppet looked at Zhao Fu and lightly laughed as it said, "Do you think I'm stupid? Your evil celestial legatee's power can suppress mine, and my power will be greatly weakened by your evil celestial legatee's power. I'll definitely lose, so what's there to bet on?" Zhao Fu looked at the evil blood puppet and said, "What do you want?" The evil blood centipede smiled. It stretched out a hand and hooked its finger. "Let's compete in that area. If you win, I will give you the blood crystal." This bet had the blood centipede of reaping evil in it. If he won, Zhao Fu would become her slave. If he lost, he would also gain Zhao Fu's power. However, Zhao Fu had no other choice. After 2 days, Zhao Fu looked at the unconscious evil blood centipede on the ground and stretched out a hand to take her blood crystal. Even though she was very powerful, she had underestimated Zhao Fu's strength. Zhao Fu flew in another direction. He arrived in front of a huge snail shell. This snail shell was silver in color, and its mouth was facing the ground. According to the evil blood butterfly, the evil blood snails were inside. Zhao Fu says, "I am the successor of the evil immortal, and I am here to collect the blood crystal." After waiting for a while, Zhao Fu did not receive any reply. He called out a few more times, but there was still no reply. As such, Zhao Fu could not help but wave his hand and send a wave of power towards the snail shell. Bang! Before Zhao Fu's wave of power could reach the snail shell, it was blocked by a formless barrier. When Zhao Fu's wave of power hit the barrier, it dissipated. However, there was still nothing in the snail shell. Zhao Fu felt quite troubled and asked, "What should I do now?" After thinking about it, Zhao Fu stretched out a hand and placed it on the barrier. An evil immortal's power flowed out, and 8 blood-red runes appeared. The barrier seemed to melt, and a large hole appeared. This evil immortal's power would be useful. Zhao Fu came to the snail shell and vigorously knocked on it, but he still did not feel at ease. As such, Zhao Fu could only dig a hole in the ground and go in. The inside of the snail shell was bright, and there was some furniture. There was a jade bed with a woman lying on it. She had long hair and a sweet face. There were 2 feelers on her forehead, and her body was snow white. It was as if she had no bones and was soft. She was most likely the evil blood snail. Zhao Fu walked to her side, but the evil blood snail did not react at all. Zhao Fu saw that she was in a deep sleep and could not be woken up. However, Zhao Fu did not care about anything else. He stretched his hand towards her chest and prepared to take the silver blood crystal. Bang! However, just as Zhao Fu's finger touched the blood crystal gave off a silver power. Zhao Fu's hand was repelled by the power, and a sound rang out. Zhao Fu felt a corrosive pain in his hand, as if he had touched a corrosive liquid. He frowned and looked at the sleeping evil blood snail. Even though this evil blood snail was in a deep sleep and did not seem dangerous, it still had protective powers. This evil blood snail's protective powers were much stronger than Zhao Fu's, and Zhao Fu guessed that it would be difficult to break it. Looking at the evil blood snail's alluring body, Zhao Fu did not hold back. The evil blood snail woke up from its slumber and revealed a pair of pure white eyes. It looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Are you my master's successor?" Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. The evil blood snail did not say anything else. Another day passed, and the evil blood snail nestled in Zhao Fu's embrace and said with a smile, "Thank you. I haven't been like this in a long time." Zhao Fu looked at the evil blood snail and felt that she was the most temperamental out of all the blood beasts that Zhao Fu had met. He smiled and said, "You're welcome." The evil blood snail stretched out its hand towards the silver blood crystal in front of its chest and handed it to Zhao Fu as it smiled and said, "You came for this, right? I'll give it to you now." Zhao Fu took the silver blood crystal and said, "Thank you." The evil blood snail smiled sweetly and said, "There's no need. I hope that you can inherit my master's power. That way, I'll be your toy." Zhao Fu asked curiously, "Toy?" The evil blood snail replied, "Yes, the 8 of us are my master's toys. My master can do anything to us, and we like it when my master tortures us." Zhao Fu thought to himself, That evil immortal is indeed perverted. However, Zhao Fu thought about it and realized that if it had not been so perverted and crazy, it would not have been able to create the evil immortal's power. Moreover, when Zhao Fu had ravaged them, not only had they not been angry, but they had been even happier. They had been created by the evil immortal's power, and their personalities had been the same. The evil blood snail said, "I've been sleeping here for so many years, and I want to go out for a walk." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Yes, I can promise you." The evil blood snail looked at Zhao Fu and smiled sweetly as it said, "Thank you very much." Zhao Fu said, "I still have things to do. Let's talk after I'm done." The evil blood snail asked, "Are you going to look for blood crystals elsewhere? Do you need my help?" Zhao Fu thought about it and said, "There's no need. I'm the evil immortal's successor. Even though they don't treat me very well, they shouldn't hurt me." The evil blood snail smiled and replied, "Yes." Zhao Fu left the snail's shell and flew towards another place. The seventh blood beast was on a tall mountain. Zhao Fu flew over and saw a 100-meter tall woman looking up at the sky. Chapter 3003. Book 1, Chapter 443. She had long purple hair, a cold expression, jade-like skin, and a purple crystal embedded in her chest. She had 4 pairs of insect wings on her back, and her figure was alluring. Her lower body was a purple ant, and she gave off a very powerful aura. The 7th evil blood ant. She seemed to have known that Zhao Fu would come, so she waited for Zhao Fu. She looked at Zhao Fu with her purple eyes and said, "You're here." Zhao Fu said, "Yes." The evil blood ant said, "I want to know what happened after Master died and what's going on outside." Zhao Fu thought about it and told the evil blood ant what he knew. After hearing Zhao Fu's words, the evil blood ant fell into deep thought. After a while, it looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "What are your plans?" Zhao Fu said, "Nothing much. I'll leave after taking the evil immortal's power." The evil blood ant said, "Have you never thought about taking revenge for Master?" Zhao Fu said with a headache, "Your situation is complicated. I don't know what to do. Maybe I will, maybe I won't." The evil blood ant said, "Your master's inheritor." Zhao Fu replied, "I know. As the evil immortal's inheritor, I have the duty to take revenge for him. However, I have my own difficulties, so I can only say that I'll try my best." The evil blood ant was silent for a while before saying, "Master's power is the core of this place. If you take it away, this place will be destroyed. What do you plan to do with us?" Zhao Fu said, "Up to you." The evil blood ant frowned. "Don't you like us?" Zhao Fu said, "Don't you all not like me? If you're willing to leave with me, I'll bring her. If not, I won't force you." The evil blood ant looked straight at Zhao Fu. "Do you want to do that with me?" Zhao Fu did not find it very hard to accept, so he had not expressed his attitude. However, he liked it. It seemed that such things had happened before, such as the various monsters and the evil immortal's relic. The evil blood ant's body quickly shrank as it hugged Zhao Fu. "Don't waste time." Zhao Fu looked at the evil blood ant in his arms and said, "I'm leaving." The evil blood ant's face was flushed as it said softly, "Yes. If you have collected all the blood crystals, come and inform me. I want to enter as well." Zhao Fu said, "No problem." The evil blood ant smiled. Zhao Fu let go of the evil blood ant and flew to the last place. As long as he got the blood crystal, he could go to the deepest part of the evil, immortal, chaotic world, where the evil immortal died. As they flew, a figure blocked Zhao Fu's way. This figure was a heroic-looking woman. She had short green hair and a pair of insect horns on her head. She had a hot figure and a green beetle shell on her back. Her feet were like insect claws, and she gave off a powerful aura. She was the last blood beast that Zhao Fu was looking for. She was called the evil blood insect. The evil blood insect smiled and said, "I was looking for you." Zhao Fu asked, "What's the matter?" The evil blood insect smiled and said, "Of course. Am I the last one?" Zhao Fu nodded. The evil blood insect smiled and said, "Then let's start. I heard that you were stronger than our master, but you didn't come to my place after waiting for a few days." Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. The evil blood insect laid in Zhao Fu's arms in satisfaction. They were right. You are much stronger than our master. Zhao Fu laughed. The evil blood insect smiled and said, "The crazier and more perverted you are, the more we will like you." Zhao Fu said, "I know. You guys have said that many times." The evil blood insect raised its chin and said, "We have said so many times. Why don't you do it? Maybe we will surrender to you immediately." Zhao Fu said, "I don't believe it." The evil blood insect looked at Zhao Fu and asked why. Zhao Fu smiled and said, "All right, let's not talk anymore. Give me your blood crystal. I'm going to the depths." The evil blood insect nodded and took the green crystal from its chest and handed it to Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu took the crystal and smiled as he said, "I'll be going now." The evil blood insect said, "Wait, I will go and inform them. We have not been there since our master died. We want to go there now." Zhao Fu thought for a moment and said, "I will wait for you guys there. Hurry up." The evil blood bug kissed Zhao Fu and nodded with a smile. Zhao Fu arrived in front of a blood-colored semicircle by himself. In front of him was the place where the evil immortal had died. It contained the purest evil immortal's power. The crazy, twisted, and perverted aura would corrode everything. Even the 8 forbidden blood beasts would be in danger if they entered. Now that Zhao Fu had 8 blood crystals and was the evil immortal successor, there should not be any danger if he entered. After waiting for a while, 8 figures flew over from afar. The evil blood insect looked at the blood-colored defensive barrier and said with melancholy, "So many years have passed." The evil blood butterfly smiled and said, "Master has been dead for so many years, and we have waited for so long. Finally, a new evil immortal has appeared." The evil blood spider looked at Zhao Fu and said with an evil smile, "Do you want to be our new master? We will give you a chance. If you can't do it, you will stay here forever. Of course, I can't bear to eat you." The evil blood centipede gave a trace of a cold smile and said, He is a man who conquered me. Even master can't do it, so eating him would be too much of a waste." The evil blood spider looked at Zhao Fu and said, "He is master's successor. If he can't take back master's power, let's not make things difficult for him and let him leave." The evil blood scorpion lightly harumphed and said, "I can't bear to part with him. This place is not interesting at all, and I'm about to die of boredom. As such, I won't let him off. Those who want him, don't interfere with us and just watch from the side." The evil blood spider looked at Zhao Fu and wanted to speak up for Zhao Fu, but it did not dare to. The evil blood centipede smiled and said to Zhao Fu, "All right, now use 8 blood crystals to open this barrier." Hearing their words, Zhao Fu's heart did not change. Even if he could not take back the evil immortal's power, he was still confident that he could escape. Zhao Fu took out the 8 blood crystals, and under Zhao Fu's control, they gathered together and formed an 8-colored crystal. It gave off a powerful energy and shot towards the blood-red barrier. Bang! When the crystal hit the barrier, a rainbow-colored energy spread out and a large hole appeared in the blood-red barrier. The blood-red aura inside flowed out like blood, and the twisted and berserk aura it gave off was dozens of times stronger than the aura outside. The 8 blood beasts stood there and felt this familiar energy. They smiled. This was their master's power. Chapter 3004. Book 1, Chapter 444. Blood. As Zhao Fu walked in, the 8 blood beasts followed behind him. The ground seemed to be soaked in blood, and the surroundings were filled with a bloody aura. There were no creatures here, and it was deathly silent without any sound. A formless corrosive power started to corrode everyone. The 8 blood beasts stretched out their hands, and 8 streams of power gathered in the air, forming a rainbow-colored ball of light that gave off a bright light and formed a rainbow-colored protective barrier. This protective barrier did not wrap around Zhao Fu and only covered the 8 blood beasts. This was a test for Zhao Fu, so they could not interfere. Zhao Fu did not mind this corrosive power and did not even use the evil immortal's power. With Zhao Fu's terrifying constitution, he was immune to this corrosive power. Seeing this scene, the blood beast felt quite shocked. Everyone walked forwards and arrived in front of a large crater. This crater was not very big, only 5 or 6 meters wide, and there was an ordinary-looking young man lying at the center. He wore purple clothes and had rosy skin. He did not seem to be dead and was only asleep. When the 8 blood beasts saw the young man, they revealed sad expressions. That young man was the legendary evil immortal. The evil blood scorpion said softly, "I miss the days when Master was alive. Those were the happiest times for us." The evil blood spider said sadly, If Master had not chosen to fight the Eastern Alliance, no one would have been able to kill him." The evil blood butterfly looked at the young man's corpse and said, "Master chose to fight head-on to take revenge. If he had chosen to hide, Master would not have felt any joy after taking revenge." Zhao Fu could not help but ask, "I'm a bit curious, what kind of enmity exists between the Eastern Alliance and the evil immortal?" The evil blood butterfly said, "I can tell you and let you understand." The evil blood butterfly continued, "Back then, our master was just an ordinary person and lived in a small city in the Eastern Alliance. Master accidentally offended a young miss of the Eastern Alliance's Alliance Master, and his entire family was hung on the city walls and bitten by thousands of insects. Master was tied up on one side, and he personally witnessed how his family died. His own limbs were also broken, and he was raised like a dog by that misty, suffering all kinds of torture and humiliation. With a strong desire for revenge, Master still chose to persevere and was not tortured to death by that missy. That young miss gradually lost interest in Master, so Master waited for an opportunity to escape. He cultivated with all his might, and then went to take revenge on that young Mississippi. However, in the end, he did not succeed, and Master was caught again. This time, Master was thrown to a person who experimented with various medicines. Every day, he had to endure all kinds of pain, but Master still persevered every day. In the end, he escaped from an accident and escaped to the land of extreme yang, where he created the 8 forbidden blood technique. Master knew that the Eastern Alliance was very powerful, so he did not seek revenge immediately. Instead, he continued to cultivate with all his might. In the end, he became an evil immortal that others feared. After that, Master caused a great calamity and dealt a heavy blow to the Eastern Alliance. In the end, he died here under the sneak attack of an Alliance Master. Actually, Master took revenge. The Alliance Master's entire family was killed by him, and that Missy was devoured by thousands of insects. Not even a bit of her soul was left. This is the grudge between Master and the Eastern Alliance. In the end, Master died at the hands of the Eastern Alliance, so we should take revenge for Master. You are Master's successor, so I hope that you can inherit this hatred and destroy the Eastern Alliance for Master." Zhao Fu fell silent and felt a headache coming on. The evil blood scorpion said, "Don't place your hopes on him. Right now, it is uncertain whether he can take back Master's power. If he can't, he will be our toy." The evil blood ant sighed. "If he can't take revenge for Master, then there is no need for us to take revenge. Right now, our injuries have not healed. Fortunately, we have Master's barrier protecting us. Otherwise, we would have been killed long ago." The evil blood moth said, "Leave Master's matters to him. We should not interfere." The evil blood snail suddenly said, "He inherited Master's various abilities, so he should be able to revive Master." The evil blood butterfly calmly said, "Reviving only Master's corpse is not Master's, so there's no point." The evil blood centipede looked at Zhao Fu and smiled as it said, "Let's not waste time. Go up and try and see if you can take back Master's power." Zhao Fu nodded and walked forwards. Boom! A massive explosion sounded out as the evil immortal's corpse gave off a massive amount of power. The surrounding blood-red chi madly gathered, forming a massive blood-red whirlpool. It gave off a terrifying suction force that seemed to want to suck in everything around it and shatter it. This power attacked indiscriminately, and the 8 blood beasts released their power to resist this suction force. Zhao Fu's expression was serious as he walked forwards. His body gave off a massive amount of blood-red qi, forming a blood-red whirlpool. It was much smaller than the evil immortal's blood-red whirlpool, but it was able to resist the terrifying suction force and continued forwards. As Zhao Fu walked forwards, the two blood-red whirlpools were about to collide. The massive whirlpool gave off a massive push against Zhao Fu, and his small blood-red whirlpool seemed to be no match for the large whirlpool and showed signs of collapsing. Zhao Fu stepped forwards and gave off an even more powerful blood-red aura as he brought the small blood-red whirlpool forward. Rumble, massive sounds continuously sounded out as the two blood-red whirlpools collided. The large whirlpool spun, causing the edges of the small whirlpool to scatter. A terrifying gust of wind blew in all directions, lifting up the ground and sending it flying. The small whirlpool was evidently no match for the large whirlpool, and it continuously became smaller as the large whirlpool's power decreased. Bang! A massive sound rang out as Zhao Fu's small whirlpool collapsed, turning into countless traces of blood-red qi. The large whirlpool's suction force also tried to suck Zhao Fu in. At that moment, Zhao Fu pointed forwards with his finger. The blood-red aura fused with a terrifying sword intent, forming tens of thousands of blood-red sword qi. They gave off terrifying power as they slashed forwards, seeming to be able to destroy the world. Boom! A loud rumble rang out as countless blood-colored sword qi slashed at the huge blood-colored vortex, splitting it apart and causing it to dissipate into blood-colored aura. The terrifying sounds caused countless people present to feel as if they had fallen into icy water, and they felt a terrifying chill. The blood beasts all looked shocked because this power was not pure evil immortal power, but a product of a terrifying sword intent and evil immortal power. Chapter 3005, Volume 1, Chapter 445, Death in terms of the evil immortal's power. Zhao Fu was definitely not stronger than the evil immortal who had created the evil immortal's power. However, Zhao Fu had other powers that were not weaker than the evil immortal's. Just now, Zhao Fu had used the combined power of the 10,000 sword will and the evil immortal's power to slash apart the blood-red vortex. The many blood fiends started to re-evaluate Zhao Fu. Before this, they had thought that Zhao Fu was just an evil immortal successor and that he had only grasped the evil immortal's power. They had never expected that Zhao Fu had grasped other terrifying powers. Zhao Fu continued to walk forward. The evil immortal's corpse surged out with a vast blood-red aura, which spread out in all directions like a blood-red ocean. The aura it gave off was extremely terrifying, and in just an instant it covered the entire area. Zhao Fu and the others' figures could not be seen. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Countless hissing sounds rang out from within the blood-red ocean, which continuously condensed and transformed into different types of insect beasts. There were scorpions, centipedes, spiders, ants, flies, butterflies, beetles, worms. Each of them was at least 3 meters long, and their eyes were wild and cruel. The aura they gave off was extremely powerful, causing people to feel fear. The blood fiends and the others immediately released 8 streams of power, condensing them together to form a powerful defensive barrier. This was because these insect beasts would attack them as well. Boom! A massive explosion sounded out, and a vast wave of blood-red qi surged out from Zhao Fu's body, spreading out in all directions like a wave of blood. Countless insect beasts also quickly condensed. There were ants, scorpions, earthworms, leeches, caterpillars, centipedes. Each of them was at least 1 foot long, and even though they were twisting and turning crazily, the power they gave off was not as strong as the one before them. There were 2 reasons for this. Firstly, Zhao Fu's evil immortal's power was at the early stage, while the evil immortal's power was at the matured stage. The evil immortal's power was definitely stronger than Zhao Fu's. Secondly, the backlash from smelting the bloodlines was different. The evil immortal devoured the insects one by one, while Zhao Fu devoured the bloodlines one by one. The evil immortal took a longer time, and his power was slightly greater. The insectoids from both sides glared at each other viciously before charging towards each other in a frenzy. An ant bit the body of an earthworm. A mantis opened the wings of a butterfly. A leech stuck to an insect beast and sucked its blood dry. A beetle knocked away a moth. A centipede coiled around a rhinoceros beetle and bit down on it. A moth flapped its wings, causing countless amounts of powder to fly out, causing some insect beast to fall into a frenzy and randomly attack. An earthworm forcefully bit down on a scorpion's body. The battle between the two sides was very intense. Zhao Fu's insect beasts were constantly being killed. It could be seen from the start that Zhao Fu's insect beasts were no match for them. Countless hissing sounds continuously sounded out as the two types of insect beasts madly fought. There were fewer and fewer insect beasts around Zhao Fu, and in the end, the evil immortal's countless insect beasts completely submerged Zhao Fu's body. Seeing this scene, the other blood beasts felt quite startled. The evil blood butterfly anxiously said, "Let's attack. Otherwise, he might die here." The evil blood scorpion frowned and said, "If we attack, he'll fail." The evil blood centipede looked at the submerged Zhao Fu and said in a low voice, "Don't worry about it. I don't want that guy to die here. After all, he's Master's legatee and can give us so much joy." The evil blood ant said seriously, "Then let's attack." Boom! Just as the women were about to attack, a massive explosion sounded out as countless rays of golden light shot out from the insect beasts. A terrifying power sent the countless insect beasts flying. 8 massive golden suns gave off terrifying auras as they flew into the sky and gave off intense light. An incredibly hot power covered the countless insect beasts and burned their bodies, causing them to cry out in pain. All the girls looked at the scene before them in shock, feeling a sense of fear within their bodies. This power could counter their evil immortal power, and they knew what this power was. The evil blood butterfly said in shock, "How can he have such pure source sun power?" The evil blood ant said seriously, "Ordinary people cannot obtain this sort of source sun power. Even the source sun power that Master obtained back then was not this powerful. This might be the source sun power from the 8 suns." The evil blood snail looked at the 8 suns and said, "He just released so many powerful sword intents, and now he's using such powerful source sun power. He's most likely hiding something from us. His identity is even more terrifying than we thought." The evil blood centipede said seriously, "Just who is he? We didn't notice anything at all, and we're almost tricked by him." The evil blood spider said, "The 8 forbidden blood arts' core power come from source sun power. With such powerful source sun power, he can greatly restrain the 8 forbidden blood art. If I knew he had this power, I would have believed that he would be able to obtain Master's evil immortal's power." The evil blood spider laughed as it said, "I never thought that Master would choose him as his legatee. How could 2 conflicting powers be within his body?" The evil blood snail smiled as it said, "He will become our new master. We can leave this place." A godlike voice sounded out in the sky. It was filled with boundless might and could not be refused as it sounded out in all directions. Back then, the 8 sun god emissaries gave source sun power to you, allowing you to create the berserk and terrifying evil immortal's power. This was their cause, and after meeting me, they promised to lead the Sun Clan to prosperity. I am their fruit, and now I will take away your evil immortal's power." Boom! Boom! 8 massive explosions sounded out as the 8 suns gave off blinding light, and a massive wave of heat covered the countless insect beasts. The insect beasts howled as they died, and their bodies turned into blood-red aura and dissipated. Traces of blood-red aura rose up from the evil immortal's corpse, and the corpse slowly disappeared, leaving behind a blood-red, fist-sized, octagonal crystal. It gave off a faint blood-red light and floated in the air. This crystal contained the evil immortal's true power, and it could be very important to Zhao Fu. It could allow Zhao Fu, the evil immortal's son, to become even more powerful, and the evil immortal's bloodline within his body might also break through its limits. The 8 suns once again condensed and formed Zhao Fu's body. Zhao Fu came before the blood-red crystal and stretched out a hand to take it. Sensing the immense power, Zhao Fu looked quite shocked. Seeing that Zhao Fu had obtained the evil immortal's power, the blood beasts felt that Zhao Fu was their new master. The women also acknowledged Zhao Fu's identity and slightly lowered their heads, expressing their submission to Zhao Fu. Chapter 3006. Book 1. Chapter 446. Blood Demon Zhao Fu looked at the blood beast women and said, "You can all withdraw for now." Zhao Fu planned to devour it now, as this place was quite suitable. More importantly, Zhao Fu couldn't help but want his evil immortal bloodline to improve. Before, Zhao Fu's evil immortal bloodline had been stuck at the peak of the sacred bloodline. If he improved it, it would be a source bloodline and a primary source bloodline at that. Adding on the early stage evil immortal bloodline and Zhao Fu's early stage source bloodline, Zhao Fu now had 2 early stage source bloodlines. "Yes," the women replied. Zhao Fu sat cross-legged on the ground, and the octagonal blood crystal floated in front of his chest. Strands of blood-red aura floated into Zhao Fu's body, and Zhao Fu gave off a formless power. The women were already standing in the distance and watching. The evil blood ant said, "He's about to fuse with Master's blood crystal and become our new master." The evil blood butterfly said with a slight smile, "I didn't expect this." Even though his evil immortal power isn't Master's match, he used another powerful power to obtain Master's blood crystal. The evil blood snail said, "That's right. I didn't expect him to have such pure sun source power. It's a pity that we didn't dare to ask his identity, and he seems to have a karmic connection with Master. The things inside are too complicated." The evil blood scorpion looked at Zhao Fu and said, "I don't know what changes will happen after he fuses with Master's blood crystal. Master has the old evil immortal power, and he has the new blood immortal power." The evil blood scorpion lightly laughed and said, "I'm not sure, but I'm sure that without Master's blood crystal, this place will collapse and disappear. It's time for us to leave with him. We've been here for so many years, and I don't know what has changed outside. Have all sorts of geniuses appeared?" The evil blood spider thought of something and said, "It might be quite difficult for us to leave. The Eastern Alliance has already sealed this place, and we will face the pursuit of countless Eastern Alliance members. With our current strength, it might be very dangerous." The evil blood butterfly looked at Zhao Fu and said, "We can only rely on him now." Boom! A massive explosion sounded out, and the octagonal blood crystal gave off a vast amount of evil immortal power as it slowly flew into Zhao Fu's chest. Zhao Fu's body gave off an intense blood-red light, as though he had become a person of light. Within Zhao Fu's body, the crystal of the evil immortal floated above him. Below him was a sea of blood. This sea of blood was formed by the various bloodlines that Zhao Fu had devoured. Now, Zhao Fu also wanted to condense his own blood crystal. The sea of blood began to boil, and countless blood chi floated out from it. Bubbles also appeared, as if the entire sea of blood was boiling hot. A huge stench surged out from Zhao Fu's body like a flame. This was the smell of blood emitted by the boiling blood sea. The ground around Zhao Fu's body seemed to be corroded by this stench, and pits appeared on the surface. Such a stench entered the women's noses, and they couldn't help but take a few more breaths. The sea of blood within Zhao Fu's body surged and began to gather towards the center, forming a massive ball of blood. A powerful energy wrapped around the ball of blood, causing it to continuously shrink. The ball of blood continuously became smaller, and the density of the blood rapidly increased. The massive ball of blood finally became a 100-meter wide ball of blood. The color of the blood had also become deep red. Now, every drop of blood was 100 times as much blood as before, and the stench of blood had become extremely dense. The energy that wrapped around the ball of blood continued to compress the blood, and the blood began to crystallize. It gradually formed a 10-meter-wide crystal that gave off a faint blood-red light. This was the most important moment. 8 blood-red runes floated out from 8 different directions, and with the blood-red crystal as the center, the 8 runes turned into 8 streams of light that shot into the blood crystal. The blood crystal's surface began to lose its blood-red color and become transparent. The 10-meter-wide blood crystal had mostly become transparent, and it no longer had the deep red color from before. It was as if everything had been sucked into the center. Crack! A clear sound rang out as the crystal shattered and blood-red light shot out. An octagonal blood-red crystal that was as big as a fist appeared, giving off a massive, evil, immortal power. This was the blood crystal that Zhao Fu had condensed. The evil immortal blood crystal gave off a boundless might that seemed to be able to suppress an entire world, and it slowly sank down. Zhao Fu's blood crystal gave off a boundless might as it slowly rose up. Boom! A muffled explosion sounded out as the two powers slowly clashed together. It was as if the heavens and earth were merging, and they gave off an aura that would cause even gods, ghosts, and demons to feel immense fear. The two blood crystals started to fuse together, and the terrifying power became even more intense. Outside, the entire evil immortal chaos world trembled as countless amounts of blood-red qi flooded in and entered Zhao Fu's body. Outside the evil immortal chaos world, the sky suddenly darkened as wild gales started to blow and thunder boomed. A terrifying aura covered the heavens and earth as it spread out. Dongfang Jian felt quite startled as he said, "What's going on inside the evil immortal chaos world?" Dongfang Xiao said seriously, "It's definitely not a good thing for it to give off such a terrifying aura." Dongfang Yu said worriedly, "He's still inside. Could he have encountered some danger? Should we go in and take a look?" Dongfang Tu said, It's best to take a look. There can't be any accidents." Everyone nodded. Whether it was Zhao Fu or the evil immortal chaos world, they did not want anything to happen to him. However, when they came in front of the stone wheel, they found that they could not enter the evil immortal chaos world. It was as if the space inside had become chaotic, and they could not enter through the stone wheel. Everyone's expressions fell. They were now sure that something bad had happened inside, and they felt quite nervous. Dongfang Tu's expression became serious as he asked, "What should we do now?" Dongfang Jian said, "There's nothing we can do even if we can't enter. If we break the seal, the consequences will be even worse, so we can only wait." Dongfang Yu asked, "But he's still inside. Are we not going to do anything?" Dongfang Jian nodded. "There's nothing we can do." Dongfang Yu looked at the stone wheel worriedly and hoped that nothing would happen to Zhao Fu. Boom! A shocking explosion sounded out as the two blood crystals within Zhao Fu's body fused together, and a blood-red circular light barrier containing terrifying power spread out. It was as if nothing could stop it. The blood-red circular light barrier exploded out from Zhao Fu's body, and the ground instantly crumbled. The blood-red circular light barrier continued to spread out incredibly quickly, and it seemed as if the heavens and earth were collapsing. The scene was incredibly shocking and terrifying. Chapter 3007, Volume 1, Chapter 447 Bang. A massive explosion sounded out, causing Dongfang Jian and the others to feel quite startled. They looked up into the sky and saw many cracks in the air as countless blood-red lights shot out. A berserk, twisted, and evil aura spread out, causing everyone to feel a sense of fear. Dongfang Jian said in astonishment, "The seal was broken by a type of power." Dongfang Xiao hurriedly asked, "Is there any other way to repair it?" Dongfang Jian shook his head. Dongfang Ku's expression was unsightly as he said, "What terrible thing happened here?" Bang! An even louder sound rang out, shaking the surroundings. Space completely shattered as a blood-red world appeared before everyone's eyes. The blood-red aura was unstoppable as it flooded everything. The people in the distance also felt a wave of cold air, and their hair stood on end as they felt extremely uncomfortable. The seal of the evil immortal wreaking havoc with the world had been broken. Dongfang Jian and the others had fallen to the bottom of the valley. Something big was about to happen to the Eastern Alliance. However, now that the seal was completely broken, they could enter the evil immortal chaotic world. Dongfang Jian immediately said, "Let's go in and see what happened." The others nodded and gave off powerful auras as they quickly flew towards the center of the evil immortal chaotic world. At this moment, the blood within Zhao Fu's body had already fused into one. A supreme evil immortal power spread out, and at that moment, the spirit chi of the chaos world surged toward Zhao Fu. Countless experts' expressions changed as they looked in Zhao Fu's direction. What happened? Why is the spiritual energy of the entire chaos world gathering in that direction? Last time, when that evil immortal's bloodline reached the 8th level, it did not cause such a huge fluctuation. This ripple is not only stronger than the ripple caused by the evil immortal's bloodline, it is even stronger than the ripple caused by the innate sun god and innate moon immortal. This is the first time I've felt such a strong ripple. Yes, something big must have happened to the primal chaos world. That is why it has caused such a huge ripple. Hopefully, it is nothing bad. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. The primal chaos world might be heavily damaged. I don't know why, but I keep feeling uneasy. That direction is giving me an ominous feeling. Let's go and take a look. If it's that kind of world-shaking calamity, the more we can stop it. All right, I'm also curious about what could have caused such a huge commotion. Boom, boom, boom. Loud rumbling sounds rang out as the experts turned into streams of light and flew toward Zhao Fu, leaving trails of light in the sky. Countless ordinary people were confused as to what had happened. They had not yet sensed that terrifying ripple, but they would soon sense it. Dongfang Jian and the others rushed into the depths of the evil, immortal, chaotic world and saw vast amounts of heaven and earth power pouring into a figure. That figure was actually Zhao Fu, and his body gave off a supreme, evil, immortal power, causing everyone to look shocked. How is this possible? No one knew why Zhao Fu was able to emit such a terrifying, immortal evil power. Could it be that the immortal evil power had taken over his body, or something else had happened? When the evil blood centipede saw the people of the Eastern Alliance, its face turned cold. Protect the Master. The 8 blood fiends stood in front of the Eastern Alliance. Dongfang Ye shouted angrily, "What did you do to him?" The evil blood centipede's lips curled into a smile. "Don't worry. We wouldn't dare to do anything to our master." "What master? Did that evil immortal not die and take over his body? Do you know who he is?" "He's the son of Origin," Dongfang Ye said. She wanted to use this method to make them fear Zhao Fu's identity. Hearing this, the evil blood centipede women looked at each other and looked quite shocked. So Zhao Fu was the son of Origin. No wonder he was so powerful. The evil blood centipede woman smiled and said, "Our old master is already dead. He is our new master." Dongfang Ye asked, "What do you mean?" The evil blood centipede lightly laughed and said, "Don't you understand? He's our master's legacy. He's just taking back our master's power and becoming our new master." Everyone felt as if their minds had been hit by a massive force. Dongfang Ye took a step back and asked in disbelief, "You're saying that he's the evil immortal's legatee?" The evil blood centipede laughed and said, "That's right." Only now did the Dongfang Alliance's people realize that they had been tricked by Zhao Fu. However, no one would have thought that the son of Origin was the evil immortal's legatee. Dongfang Ye felt incredibly furious. Zhao Fu had lied to her and used her to do all sorts of things. Back then, she had helped Zhao Fu and had been worried that something had happened to Zhao Fu. Now, Dongfang Ye wanted to kill Zhao Fu. Dongfang Shiyue also looked furious. She had underestimated Zhao Fu and had never thought that Zhao Fu had hidden himself so well. She had even lost her chastity to Zhao Fu. Dongfang Jian and the others felt incredibly regretful. Why they coveted the son of Origin's status and power. Now, They had made such a big mistake. If they had another chance, they definitely would not have let Zhao Fu enter the evil immortal chaotic world. However, it was too late for them to regret. Zhao Fu had already entered the evil immortal chaotic world and obtained the evil immortal's power. Dongfang Jian said coldly, "You guys stopped him. We have to stop him." The 8 Alliance Masters immediately gave off terrifying auras and rushed towards the 8 blood beasts, while the others rushed toward Zhao Fu, wanting to kill Zhao Fu on the spot. The 8 blood beasts were all injured, and even though they wanted to stop them, they were stopped by the 8 Alliance Masters. The other 4 Alliance Masters passed by the 8 blood beasts and rushed in front of Zhao Fu. Dongfang Jian was the fastest. He forcefully slammed out with his palm, and a terrifying sword energy slashed toward Zhao Fu like a hot knife through butter. It was as if no one could stop it. Bang! A massive sound rang out as Dongfang Jian's body flew backwards and crashed to the ground as he coughed up a mouthful of blood. The Eastern Alliance's people had forgotten something important, which was that all of the primal chaos world spirit chi was flowing into Zhao Fu's body. Zhao Fu was currently being buffed by the entire primal chaos world's power, and Dongfang Jian attacking Zhao Fu had instead heavily injured himself. Seeing this scene, the 3 people who had wanted to attack stopped in shock. They thought about it and understood the reason, and their expressions became quite unsightly. Now, they did not even have a chance to stop Zhao Fu. The evil blood scorpion women lightly laughed and retreated to the side, not wanting to fight with the Alliance Masters. The Eastern Alliance Masters once again gathered together. Dongfang Kong anxiously asked, "Is there any way to stop him?" Dongfang Ku sighed and said, "Now that he's being buffed by the primal chaos world, let alone us, even a true celestial can't do anything. We're going to lose this time." Chapter 3008, Volume 1, Chapter 448, Death Boundless Heaven and Earth Power continued to fuse into Zhao Fu's body, giving off world-shaking power, making it so that no one dared to get close. Many experts had arrived as well, looking at the scene before them in shock. What's going on? How can this person endure such a massive amount of heaven and earth power entering his body? Wait, why is this person giving off such a terrifying evil immortal power? Could he be the legendary evil immortal? So all of this was caused by the evil immortal's successor. But hasn't the evil immortal's bloodline reached the final stage 8? How can it continue to evolve? According to the legends, the final stage of the evil immortal's bloodline is a peak Saint tier bloodline. If it breaks through again, it's the source bloodline, and it's the second source bloodline apart from the primal chaos source bloodline. This is the first time something like this has happened in the primal chaos world, which is why it has caused such a huge commotion. The Eastern Alliance is in trouble. This evil immortal successor has surpassed the previous evil immortal and will be even more terrifying. Who could stop him? That's right. Even the legendary Child of Essence might be a bit weaker in front of him. After all, this is the first generation source evil immortal's bloodline. I didn't come in the wrong this time. I'm extremely fortunate to be able to witness the birth of the source bloodline. Hearing those words, the expressions of the people from the Eastern Alliance became even grimmer. No one wanted to stop it because they knew that it was already too late. Boom! A muffled sound rang out as the boundless primal chaos power stopped flowing into Zhao Fu's body. Everything seemed to have stopped, and even though it did not seem like there was any danger, everyone felt even more terrified. The blood-red octagonal crystal within Zhao Fu's body gave off a blood-red power, and blood-red transparent insects crawled out from Zhao Fu's body. There were scorpions, centipedes, ants, earthworms, spiders, and they flooded out. Seeing the insect images, everyone quickly retreated. The countless insect images covered the area in front of them, forming an ocean of insects. These insect beasts were different from the insect beasts from before. In the past, the insect beasts had looked wild and twisted, as if they could not help but pounce and devour people when they saw them. Moreover, they were made of flesh and blood. Now, The insect beasts were blood-red shadows, and they were not as wild and twisted as before. Instead, they were deep and evil. In the past, that kind of aura was extremely terrifying, and anyone who saw it would retreat in fear. Now, this was a kind of fear that came from the heart. The second type was even more terrifying than the first type, because the current evil immortal energy had already undergone a qualitative change, becoming a supreme energy. Bang! A deafening sound rang out again, and the blood-colored insect beasts collapsed, turning into countless blood-colored motes of light that floated into the sky. The fist-sized octagonal blood crystal in Zhao Fu's body suddenly turned a translucent white and shattered, revealing a thumb-sized octagonal blood crystal. Each side of the crystal was covered with twisted magical symbols that contained the great Taos of heaven and earth. The countless motes of blood-red light that floated into the sky fused into the sky, causing the sky to gradually become blood-red and spread outwards. Soon it covered the entire outer world, and a berserk, evil, and twisted power pressed down like the heavens. Countless people felt that it was difficult to breathe, and a strange sense of terror flowed out of their hearts. Their bodies continuously became covered with cold sweat, and even ordinary people knew that something terrifying had happened. The blood-red light covered the outer world and did not stop there. The blood-red light shot through countless distances, shining on the Heaven-Awakened world, the Alchemy world, and the Card world. The Heaven-Awakened world was the closest, so was affected the most. The sky became blood-red, and faint insect images appeared. When the blood-red light shone on the weaker creatures, they immediately went berserk. The experts' expressions fell. What's happening in the outer world? Why are there such massive ripples? This power is also extremely terrifying, and it's definitely a supreme energy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so terrifying. This power feels quite unfamiliar, and I've never encountered anything like it before. Do you feel that it's familiar? Such a massive ripple has happened in the Heaven-Awakened world before. You're saying that the Heaven-Awakened Sun awakened the first-generation origin bloodline? I also feel that this ripple is quite similar to the awakening of the first-generation origin bloodline. It's possible that a shocking genius from the outer world has awakened the first-generation origin bloodline, which is why such a massive ripple has appeared. When did such a terrifying person appear in the outer world? He'll put the Heaven-Awakened world at a disadvantage and will definitely become the greatest threat to the Heaven-Awakened world. Don't worry, since the outer world has given birth to an origin bloodline, we also have one in the Heaven-Awakened world. I'm sure we'll be able to resist or even suppress him. The people from the alchemy world also saw countless blood-red rays of light shoot out from the void. Sensing this terrifying power, they all looked shocked. What kind of power is this? It feels so evil and crazy, and it's far above my own power. Under this blood-red light, even metal will be corroded and become an evil and crazy metal. If ordinary people from the alchemy world were exposed to this blood-red light, they would definitely go crazy. This blood-red light doesn't come from the Heaven-Awakened world, but from the outer world. I never thought that the outer world would be able to affect us. I just received news that the evil Celestial's legatee has awakened an early generation origin bloodline. No way. An early generation origin bloodline? That's almost impossible, and it's thousands of times more difficult than becoming a Celestial. It's because it's so difficult that the ripples are so great. It seems that the Heaven-Awakened Sun bloodline in the Heaven-Awakened world was also an early generation origin bloodline. AI, the Heaven-Awakened world and the outer world both gave birth to such powerful bloodlines. So why doesn't our alchemy world have one? This puts us at a great disadvantage. That's right, it's impossible to find anyone in the alchemy world who can compare to those two. In the future, both of them will become existences that will harm our world. If we have the opportunity, we must get rid of them. Countless rays of blood-red light shot down from the sky in the card world, and countless people in the card world looked quite confused. They felt as if a bug had burrowed into their bodies, causing their bodies to tremble and feel a chill. Is this the blood-red light from that world? Why is it so terrifying? I've never seen such terrifying power before. It's the outer world. It seems that something big happened in the outer world. We were not affected much, but the outer world was greatly affected. Chapter 3009, Volume 1, Chapter 449, Death, What Happened in the Outer World? Why did the blood-red light shoot into our card world? I heard that the outer world gave birth to an initial origin bloodline. Initial origin bloodline? No wonder the ripples were so great. It seems that the Heaven Awakened world also has one. I wonder how they did it. Our card world hasn't produced one in so many years, or else our card world would be in a disadvantageous position. There's also an alchemy world that doesn't have one. I wonder if their world has any shocking geniuses. If their world has one, but our card world doesn't, that would be disadvantageous. Outer world. Zhao Fu's body automatically rose up and floated in the air. He spread out his hands, and countless blood-red runes densely appeared around Zhao Fu. Within his body, an octagonal blood-red crystal that was as big as a finger slowly rose up and grew out of Zhao Fu's chest. It seemed to be embedded into Zhao Fu's body, and Zhao Fu's clothes were torn apart by a formless energy. The crystal gave off boundless blood-red light, and a powerful blood-red ripple spread out. Zhao Fu's body started to go through changes. His black hair became blood-red, and there seemed to be countless bug eyes in his eye sockets. Blood-red meridians spread out from the blood-red crystal on his chest. A berserk, twisted, evil, and murderous aura spread out from Zhao Fu's body, covering the heavens and earth. Zhao Fu was expressionless, and he looked like an evil celestial that had descended into the mortal world, causing all living beings to feel terror. Everyone looked at Zhao Fu in shock. Right now, Zhao Fu was in the evil celestial's final form, and his bloodline had become an initial origin evil celestial bloodline. Back then, the evil celestial had not been able to do what he had been chasing, and now, Zhao Fu had accomplished it for him. Not only had his bloodline become an initial origin bloodline, but the evil celestial's power had also become a supreme power. The level of difficulty was still very high. The evil immortal bloodline had used countless years and devoured countless bloodlines to raise the evil immortal bloodline to a peak stage divine bloodline. Zhao Fu had the support of the primeval essence bloodline, as well as countless other bloodlines. The two evil immortal powers fused together to finally break through. The evil immortal's power was very useful. If Zhao Fu relied on himself, it would be very difficult for him to upgrade the evil immortal's bloodline to the essence bloodline. Everyone looked at Zhao Fu in shock. Even if they were stronger than Zhao Fu, they were like powerless children in front of Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu's strength was not something they could touch. Dongfang looked at Zhao Fu angrily. This was a bastard who had lied to her, and she was the one who had caused this. She was the one who had harmed the Eastern Alliance. Who knew how many people in the Eastern Alliance would be lost in the future? It was all her fault. Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang Yu and said, "Sorry." Dongfang Yu said coldly, "I don't accept it. I just want to kill you." The evil blood butterfly lightly laughed and said, "Master, now that you have the support of the primal chaos world's power, you should take this opportunity to kill all of the Eastern Alliance's sect masters." Hearing this, everyone's expressions fell. In this state, Zhao Fu could easily kill them all. The evil blood butterfly coldly looked at the Eastern Alliance's people and said, "That's right. Master can now take revenge for old Master and kill them all." The Eastern Alliance's people immediately became alert and prepared to escape. The other experts also retreated. They did not want to get involved in the matter between the Eastern Alliance and the evil immortal. There would be severe consequences. Dongfang Ku's expression was unsightly as he said, "Later, let's try to escape as much as we can. Don't stop. As long as the heaven and earth power on his body disperses, we won't have to fear him anymore." The others' expressions were quite unsightly. Even if they escaped this time, it would be very difficult to escape from Zhao Fu in the future. However, preserving their lives was the most important thing right now. They could only take things one step at a time. Dongfang Yu said in self-blame. I'll stay behind and delay him. I'm willing to take responsibility for this matter. All of you just need to run. Dongfang Shiyue cried out in discomfort. You. Dongfang Yu said resolutely. There's no need to persuade me. This matter was caused by me, and to the Eastern Alliance, I cannot be forgiven. The evil blood scorpion cried out. Master, hurry and kill them, or else your heaven and earth power will disappear. When that time comes, we'll be in danger. Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang Yu and said, I won't kill you all. The Eastern Alliance's people looked quite startled. They had not expected Zhao Fu to say this. The Blood Fiends had not expected this either, and the evil blood spider hurriedly cried out, Master, they're old master's enemies. You must kill them, or else we'll all be killed by them. Zhao Fu said, I have my own plans for this matter. The Blood Fiends angrily looked at the Eastern Alliance's people. They did not know what Zhao Fu wanted to do or why he wanted to kill the Eastern Alliance's people. Dongfang Yu's expression was cold as she asked why. Zhao Fu said, I want the grievances between the evil immortal and the Eastern Alliance to end here. I won't make trouble for the Eastern Alliance, and you won't make trouble for me either. The Eastern Alliance's people looked in disbelief. Such a good thing could happen. Dongfang Jian asked, Is that true? Now that their lives were in Zhao Fu's hands, and they could not resist Zhao Fu, they've been worried about the evil immortal's threat every day. If this matter could be resolved, they would naturally be very happy. As for the grievances from before, they did not want to pursue them. Zhao Fu nodded. Dongfang Jian did not hesitate at all. All right, we agree. Today, the grievances between the Eastern Alliance and you'll be written off. The Blood Fiends and the others felt quite displeased, but did not say anything. The other experts looked quite confused. They had never thought that the matter would be resolved like this. They had thought that Zhao Fu would kill the Eastern Alliance's people. Once the Alliance Masters died, the Eastern Alliance would fall into chaos, and they would obtain great benefits. Dongfang Yu had never thought that Zhao Fu would do such a thing, and she looked quite complicated and did not know what to do. Zhao Fu looked at Dongfang Yu and said, Now I don't owe you anything. We won't meet again in the future. Dongfang Yu looked at Zhao Fu, and her eyes flickered with tears. Zhao Fu waved his hand, and a wave of energy covered the Blood Fiends and the women, and they turned into rays of light and disappeared over the horizon. The Eastern Continent Alliance's people let out a sigh of relief. They had never thought that the Eastern Continent Alliance's disaster would end so easily. They looked at Dongfang Yu. They had felt quite resentful towards Dongfang Yu, and it was all thanks to her that Zhao Fu had given up on taking revenge. Dongfang Yu lowered her head in discomfort and flew off. Dongfang Shiyue quickly chased after her, wanting to persuade her. Everyone else felt quite bored and left. News of what had happened here quickly spread, shaking the entire primal chaos world. Chapter 3010. Book 1, Chapter 450. Bloodline. This was the birth of a first-generation origin bloodline. This had never happened in the history of the primal chaos, and no one had ever thought of upgrading a bloodline to an origin bloodline. In the minds of countless people, the origin race had been born along with the primal chaos world. They were born with the origin bloodline. Ordinary people did not have the ability to upgrade their bloodlines to the origin bloodline. The origin bloodline represented a lofty existence that could not be touched. The most fortunate thing was that this evil immortal was not as crazy and twisted as the previous evil immortal, who had not caused a world-shaking catastrophe in the primal chaos world and caused countless lives to be lost. If this generation's evil immortal was like the last generation's evil immortal, then there would only be greater casualties. The entire primal chaos world might be seriously damaged. Facing this type of exceptional generation's source bloodline, many experts felt extremely powerless, not having the slightest bit of confidence in stopping it. However, now that this evil immortal was not so crazy and had reconciled with the Eastern Alliance, everyone relaxed. Having such a person in the future was a good thing for the primal chaos world. The women on the moon and the sun also knew about this and knew that Zhao Fu had upgraded the evil immortal's bloodline to a first-generation origin bloodline. Regarding this matter, they were still quite shocked. This was something that was almost impossible even for them. Now, Zhao Fu and the 8 blood fiends appeared in the valley. The evil blood scorpion said somewhat angrily, "Why did you reconcile with the Eastern Alliance?" The evil blood spider said, "Yes, we should not have reconciled with the Eastern Alliance. We should have killed everyone in the Eastern Alliance." Dongfang Dai looked at Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu said, "Since the evil immortal has taken revenge, I don't want to continue this enmity. The Eastern Continent Alliance's people have helped me, so if you want to take revenge, I won't stop you. I won't care about this anymore." The evil blood scorpion harumphed. The evil blood snail glanced at everyone and said softly, "I think that this matter should end here. Everyone does not have to kill each other and can live peacefully somewhere." "That's right," the evil blood snail said softly. "Even if we reconcile, it should be the Eastern Alliance begging us to reconcile, not us taking the initiative to reconcile with them." The evil blood snail said, "That's right. Even if we reconcile, it should be the Eastern Alliance begging us to reconcile, not us taking the initiative to reconcile with them." The evil blood snail looked at Zhao Fu and said, "I think we should forget it. He is our master now, so we should listen to him." The evil blood snail nodded. "Yes, we are all master's toys. Master can do whatever he wants. We cannot have any complaints." The evil blood butterfly lightly laughed and said, "I do as I please." The women looked at Zhao Fu with some bitterness in their eyes. If Zhao Fu really wanted to do this, there was nothing they could do, and they could only accept it. Zhao Fu sighed as he said, "It's quite difficult for me." The evil blood puppet laughed as it said, "All right, I don't want to make things difficult for Master, so I'm willing to listen to Master. However, Master can compensate us well." God, God's blood. 2 days later, the evil blood butterfly lay in Zhao Fu's embrace with rosy faces. The evil blood butterfly asked, "Master, what should we do now?" Zhao Fu replied, "I'm going to search for the final bronze shard. I'm only missing that bronze shard to repair the origin armament, and that's when I awaken the supreme primal chaos emperor star." Now that Zhao Fu had obtained the first-generation origin evil immortal bloodline, he felt that he was just a step away from awakening the supreme emperor star. Hearing about the supreme emperor star, everyone felt quite shocked. The evil blood butterfly said, "Master, the supreme emperor star of the outer world is something that the origin race has never awakened before. It only exists in legends. Can you really do it?" Zhao Fu confidently smiled and nodded. "You all stay here and recover. I'll come back after dealing with these matters." The evil blood ant said softly, "We are willing to listen to Master." The evil blood butterfly smiled and said, "I'm very satisfied this time. I'm fine, and we've obtained so much of Master's power that we need to properly digest it." Zhao Fu said, "I'll be going then." The women felt quite reluctant, but they still nodded. Zhao Fu spent a few more days returning to the dragon race. The Eastern Region Alliance did not reveal that Zhao Fu was also a child of origin, so countless people did not know that the child of origin was also Zhao Fu. Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu and lightly laughed as he said, "Boy, you're quite capable. You've completed such a difficult thing twice. How does it feel to have 2 original origin bloodlines?" Zhao Fu looked at Long Wushui and lightly laughed. Out of all of the powerful women, only Long Wushui knew about Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu hugged her and smiled as he asked, "What do you think?" Long Wushui's face became red, and she wanted to kiss Zhao Fu. At that moment, the various leaders of the dragon race arrived. Seeing that Zhao Fu had returned, they hurriedly talked about the first-generation origin evil immortal and said that a powerful opponent had appeared for Zhao Fu. They did not know that Zhao Fu was the evil immortal's legatee, and Zhao Fu sent them away with a few simple sentences. The various leaders still felt quite worried. The evil immortal's legatee was simply too terrifying. Zhao Fu started to gather information on the final bronze shard, but after searching for half a day, there was no news at all, causing Zhao Fu to feel a headache. This final bronze shard was too secretive, and Zhao Fu had expected it. Last time, he had only gathered information on 2 bronze shards, but there had not been a third one. Zhao Fu tried again, but he still did not find anything. In the end, Zhao Fu understood that the dragon race would not be able to gather information on the bronze shard, so he could only rely on other factions. Which factions were famous for gathering information? Zhao Fu thought of a few merchant groups. They were quite well informed, and perhaps he would be able to obtain some information. The December merchant group was quite close to Zhao Fu, so Zhao Fu decided to go to the December merchant group and have them help him gather information. The women of the December merchant group looked at Zhao Fu on the moon platform with hidden bitterness. Moon Saintess said, "Unless you have something to do, you wouldn't take the initiative to find us, right?" Moon Dancing Star said angrily, "The problem is that you're a womanizer every day. How many women did you sleep with during this trip to the Eastern Alliance?" Zhao Fu gave an awkward smile. Yu Xinzi smiled as she said, "Come on up. It's been a while since we've gotten along. We'll tell others to do it." Hearing this, Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. His body gave off a ray of moonlight as he quickly flew into the sky. Now that Zhao Fu had obtained sun and moon power, he did not encounter any difficulties and quickly flew to a moon. Seeing Zhao Fu fly up, the women were no longer angry at Zhao Fu and happily ran over. Chapter 3011, Volume 1, Chapter 451, Battle After a Friendly Conversation. Yu Xinzi leaned into Zhao Fu's embrace and asked somewhat melancholically, "After finding the final bronze shard, are you going to part ways with us?" Zhao Fu thought about it. After awakening the outer world's supreme Emperor Star, it would be time for him to return to the heaven-awakened world. After leaving for so long, Zhao Fu greatly missed it. He replied, "Mm." The Moon Holy Daughter asked caringly, "Will you come back then?" Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "I'll come back when I have time. Don't be so sad." Yu Yao said, "It's not that we're thinking too much, but you don't belong to the outer world. Who knows when you'll come back? It might be 10 years, 20 years, or even 100 years. If you don't stay by our side, how can we be at ease?" Zhao Fu looked at her as he replied, "I can only say that I'll come back when I have time, and it won't be that long. I'm going to leave the outer world, but you won't give up on this place." The Moon Holy Daughter said, "Is there a way to satisfy both sides?" Zhao Fu thought about it before replying, "There isn't." The Moon Holy Daughter looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Then you have to promise us that you'll come back to see us when you have time. Don't lie to us." Zhao Fu smiled as he said, "Understood." He stayed at the Moon Palace for a few days, and the people from the 12 moons did their best to help him collect information on the bronze shard. However, there was still no news of the final bronze shard. Now, Zhao Fu felt quite troubled. How could the 12 moons not be able to find any information on such a large merchant group? In the end, Zhao Fu could only go to another merchant group and pay a price. However, to Zhao Fu's surprise, there was still no news. Where was the final bronze shard? Now, Zhao Fu did not know what to do. There was no news at all, and he did not know where to look. Zhao Fu thought about it and went to the 10,000 Swords City and the Sorcerer Race to ask them to help him collect information, but there was still no news. Could it be that the origin artifact was missing a piece, which was why Zhao Fu couldn't find it? This was very possible. According to the information they had obtained, origin weapons were originally burial items left behind by a noble origin race member. After the secret realm had been destroyed, the bronze shards had landed in the primal chaos world and been obtained by different people. If he wanted to know where the last piece of the bronze fragment was, then he had to figure it out. Otherwise, he would never be able to find it. Zhao Fu began to gather information about the origin race through the various major forces. One by one, ancient books were sent to Zhao Fu's room. Zhao Fu looked through them carefully, looking for relevant information. Because too much time had passed, there was very little information about the origin race. After 5 or 6 days, Zhao Fu found a legend. According to the legend, the origin race had a daughter called Yao, who fell in love with a man. They had a deep and sweet relationship, but the man died soon after. Yao went crazy and tried to revive the man, going as far as to steal the heaven's treasure. In the end, she was punished by the heavens and died. People buried her in the earth realm. Zhao Fu was not sure if this legend had anything to do with the origin artifact or not. The only similarity was that the heaven's treasure was an ancient bronze mirror. If this legend was true, then he needed detailed information about how Yao had died and how the heaven's treasure had shattered. Zhao Fu continued to look through the ancient books, but he did not find any information. The other ancient books did not mention it either. This made it so that Zhao Fu did not know the details, and he could not find the final bronze shard. Could it be that after working so hard for so long, I found out that the bronze shard could not be repaired? Zhao Fu felt a headache coming on. All his previous efforts had been for nothing. However, if he did not do that, what else could he do? The key was not just to repair the origin artifact. Zhao Fu also wanted to use it to awaken the outer world supreme Emperor Star. If he could not repair the origin artifact, Zhao Fu's plan to awaken the supreme Emperor Star would have to be delayed. Zhao Fu's final hope was placed on those ancient books, and Zhao Fu had the large factions continue to search. Long Wushui walked in and looked at Zhao Fu flipping through the ancient books. There were books all around them, and she asked, "Is there still no news?" Zhao Fu looked down at the ancient books and replied, "Mm." Long Wushui walked over and sat in Zhao Fu's embrace, saying, "I'll help you take a look. Are you tired from reading these ancient books?" Zhao Fu hugged Long Wushui and smiled as he said, "I'm a bit tired, but finding the final bronze shard is more important. If I can't find it, my plans will be disrupted, and I might have to find something else to awaken the supreme Emperor Star." Long Wushui asked, "What have you found over the past few days?" Zhao Fu told Long Wushui about the legend that he had discovered. Long Wushui thought for a moment before asking, "After the secret realm shattered, apart from the origin shard, was there anything else?" Zhao Fu replied, "There should have been many things, but they were taken away by various experts. Now that so much time has passed, I'm not sure where those experts are. However, they most likely don't have the final bronze shard, or else it would be impossible for there to be no news at all." Long Wushui asked, "If the legend is true, then there should be Yao's corpse within the secret realm. I wonder if the final shard is related to Yao's corpse." Zhao Fu thought of something. If he could find Yao's corpse and use the 8 forbidden blood art to revive her, as long as she had a small portion of her memories, he would definitely be able to find out where the final bronze shard was. That way, he would be able to repair the origin armament. However, where was Yao's corpse? This was a new problem, and Zhao Fu did not have any information. Zhao Fu thought about it, and had the large factions gather some information. The large factions were quite useful, and they were able to gather some relevant information. A long time ago, the Western Alliance obtained a set of skeletons that were rumored to belong to the origin race. Moreover, it was a woman, and it had been kept in the Western Alliance's collection. Ordinary people would not be able to see the remains of the origin race. Zhao Fu felt that this skeleton was most likely Yao's, or else it would have been useless. After hearing that other factions had the origin race's skeleton, Zhao Fu decided to go to the Western Alliance to take a look. He hoped that the matter would be resolved, and thinking about that, he gave a trace of smile. Long Wushui looked at Zhao Fu and smiled as she asked, "Has the matter been resolved?" Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. "However, I can't be sure yet. I'll only know after I go to the Western Alliance." Long Wushui smiled as she said, I'll wait for you to awaken the supreme primal chaos Emperor Star." Zhao Fu laughed and hugged Long Wushui for a while before making some preparations and flying toward the Western Alliance. Chapter 3012. Book 1, Chapter 452. After flying for a while, Zhao Fu stopped at a large city to rest. Looking at the crowds ahead, it seemed that something interesting was happening. Zhao Fu followed over curiously and saw a handsome-looking man grabbing a beautiful woman's hand. The man had a playful smile on his face while the woman struggled angrily. The handsome-looking man lightly laughed as he said, Since you bumped into me, shouldn't you compensate me? The woman said angrily. It was an accident, and I've already apologized. The handsome-looking man laughed as he said, I don't care. It's your honor that I've taken a liking to you. The beautiful woman struggled as she said, Let go of me. The people in the surroundings watched on, and no one went up to stop them, as they recognized that handsome-looking man. He was the young lord of Nine Hell region. Eugene Nine Hell region was a very powerful faction in the Western Alliance, and it was not any weaker than the 12 Moons. As the young lord of such a powerful faction, no one dared to stop him, and they could only watch on. Zhao Fu watched on by the side and did not show any signs of stopping them. At this time, Eugene pulled the beautiful woman into his embrace and hugged her with both of his hands. The beautiful woman angrily struggled with all her might. Eugene smiled as he looked at the woman in his embrace. It was as if the more she struggled, the more he liked her. Let go of my little sister. A cold cry sounded out as a seductive woman, who looked somewhat similar to the beautiful woman, brought a large group of people over. Looking at this woman, Eugene slightly frowned. Seeing the seductive woman appear, the beautiful woman smiled as she called out, Big sis, this fellow is bullying me. Seeing her appear, everyone recognized her. She was the daughter of a Western Alliance leader, and her name was Siemens Meng. This beautiful woman was most likely Siemens Qing. Siemens Meng said coldly, I'll say it again, let go of my little sister. Eugene lightly laughed. What if I don't? Siemens Meng said coldly, then don't blame me for being impolite. You won't get any benefits in our Western Alliance territory. As she spoke, the people behind Siemens Meng gave off powerful auras. If it was just him fighting Siemens Meng, he would not be worried, but if it was a group of people, he would not be a match for them. If he was captured, it would be even more embarrassing. Eugene loosened his grip and let go of Simon King with a smile. Siemens Qing hurriedly ran back to Siemens Meng. Siemens Meng asked with concern, Sister, are you all right? Siemens nodded. At this moment, a simple and honest voice sounded, Let me see what's going on. The crowd dispersed, and a 2-meter-tall man with a pair of white bull horns, short white hair, and a piece of white jade embedded in the back of his throat appeared. He's the Sky Sovereign Ox Beast clan's young clan head, Niohu. Everyone looked at the Niohu in shock. The Empyrean Ox Beast was a powerful beast that had existed since the birth of the primal chaos world. It possessed a power that could shake the ancient times. Although its bloodline had fallen to a sacred tier bloodline, it was still an extremely powerful race that was not any weaker than the Chaos Dragons. The 3 people present were all famous geniuses of the Western Alliance. Seeing the 3 of them, everyone felt quite excited. Niohu looked at Eugene and Siemens Meng and said with a smile, So you 2 are here? What happened? Siemens Meng said, Nothing much. As she spoke, she turned and left with her people. Eugene lightly laughed as she said, Brother Ox, why are you here? Niohu said with a simple smile, My wife is too terrifying and always hits me, so I came out to have some fun. Eugene came up and smiled as she said, How about I take you to some good places to have some fun? Niohu smiled as he said, All right, many thanks. Eugene and Niohu walked towards a brothel. Zhao Fu walked towards Siemens Meng and planned to rely on her to enter the Western Alliance and obtain that source skeleton. On the way, Siemens Qing looked at her big sister and smiled as she said, Big sis, I came out to gather information about the source child and the evil immortal. Did you find anything? Siemens Meng replied, According to some secret information, the immortal used the identity of the Son of Origin to infiltrate the Eastern Alliance and finally obtain the power of the previous immortal. I don't know how he deceived the Alliance Masters of the Eastern Alliance, or maybe that immortal is also the legendary Son of Origin. Siemens Meng looked at Siemens Meng and said, Mother said that she wants to lend you to that source child. What do you plan to do, big sis? Siemens Meng sighed as she said, What else can I do? I'll just follow Mother's arrangements. Siemens Meng said curiously, This seems to be related to that skeleton in the Western Alliance. I wonder what Mother and the others are planning. Siemens Meng reminded her, The Western Alliance forbids people from talking about this, so it won't do you any good if you know. Shimin Ziqing replied, "Oh." Zhao Fu followed behind them and thought about how to get close to them and gain their trust so that they could return to the Western Alliance together. Should he try to save the damsel in distress again? Even though this was cliché, it was quite useful. Or should he directly tell them his identity? That would not do. Although it was much more convenient, it was not conducive to his plan and would also be greatly restricted. Watching Siemens Meng and the others leave the city, Zhao Fu showed a naughty smile and planned to wait for them to go a little further before taking action. Suddenly, a tall figure appeared in front of him, grabbed Zhao Fu's collar with one hand, and lifted him up. Taken aback, Zhao Fu looked at the person in front of him. It was a tall woman with a pair of white horns and long, fluffy white hair. She was extremely beautiful, and there was a piece of white jade on her throat, which made her look relatively fierce. The fierce woman lifted Zhao Fu and said coldly, "Boy, I can tell that you're up to no good. What do you want?" Hearing this, the people of the Western Dream also stopped and looked at the city gate. Zhao Fu quickly explained, Don't wrongly accuse a good person." The fierce woman snorted coldly. "You're just a little thief. They'll say the same thing as you when they're caught." Zhao Fu was at a loss for words. The fierce woman turned her head and shouted, "Hey, wait a minute. This boy wants to play tricks on you. I'll hand him over to you now." The fierce woman casually threw Su Bai in front of Siemens Meng and the others with surprisingly great strength. Several people stepped forward and grabbed Zhao Fu. Siemens Meng smiled and said, "Thank you." The fierce woman said, "No need. I can't stand villains like him always scheming behind our backs. By the way, have you seen my man?" Chapter 3013, Volume 1, Chapter 453. Si Meng asked, "Are you Niohu's wife?" The fierce woman nodded. "My name is Nio Chun." Si Meng said, "He's now fooling around with you June in the brothel." Hearing this, the fierce-looking woman's face was filled with anger. With a ferocious aura, she charged into the city. A person next to her asked, "Miss, how should we deal with this person?" Si Meng looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Take off his cloak." "Yes." The man obeyed and took off Su Bai's cloak, revealing a perfect, otherworldly face. No one present would have thought that there would be such a good-looking man in this city. It was extremely rare to see such a handsome man. Si Meng looked at Zhao Fu with fascinated eyes, and her face turned slightly red. Si Meng had greater composure. She looked at Zhao Fu and asked, "What are you planning to do by following us?" Zhao Fu said with a smile, "I don't plan to do anything. It's a misunderstanding." Si Meng glared at Zhao Fu. "Hurry up and tell me. Don't think that I won't kill you just because you're so good-looking." Zhao Fu looked at Si Meng gently and said in a sincere and affectionate voice, "I saw that you're so beautiful and was moved by you, so I couldn't help but follow you." Looking at Zhao Fu's perfect face, Si Meng blushed slightly in the face of his confession. "It's impossible between us." Zhao Fu pretended to be sad and asked, "Why? Is it because my status is low and I'm not worthy of you?" Si Meng explained with some discomfort. "No, it's my mother who has already planned to marry me to someone else." Zhao Fu said dejectedly, "I understand." Si Meng looked at Zhao Fu and did not know how to persuade him. If not for her mother, she would be happy to give Zhao Fu a chance to pursue her. Si Meng smiled and said, "Don't be so sad. My sister can't, but I can." Zhao Fu's expression froze as he looked at Simon King. Siemens Dream also looked at his younger sister, who seemed to have fallen in love with Zhao Fu. He felt a little jealous. Siemens Qing said shyly, "I don't mind your identity. If you're with me, I'm willing to accept you." Zhao Fu said with a smile, "I'm willing." In any case, Zhao Fu's goal was to infiltrate the Western Alliance. As for the method he used, it didn't matter. Siemens Qing was flabbergasted. He did not expect that Zhao Fu would actually agree. Siemens Meng was a little angry. This person had just confessed his love to her, and now he was asking about her sister's confession. He was like a scumbag. However, at this time, Siemens Meng couldn't directly stop him. She planned to give Zhao Fu a few tests to judge Zhao Fu's character. If he was really terrible, Then she would ask her sister to leave this guy. Seaman Qing reacted and revealed a happy smile. With a gentle smile on his face, Zhao Fu looked like a professional scumbag who deceived people's feelings. He held Simon King's hands and said sincerely, "I will treat you sincerely." Seaman Meng's face became red. She felt a wave of sweetness and nodded. Seaman Meng felt a wave of jealousy in her heart. At that moment, a figure ran out. It was Niu Chun. Her face was filled with anger and some grievance, and her eyes were filled with tears. She had just barged into the brothel when she saw a man entangled with another woman, and there were several of them. Seeing this, Niu Chun directly ran out, planning to cut off all ties with Niu Hu. Western Ziming had expected this and comforted her. "Take it easy. Men are all good people, and they always like the new and dislike the old." As she spoke, she looked at Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu felt quite awkward. Niu Chun nodded. "I've already divorced Niu Hu. Even if he begs me in the future, it'll be useless." Western Ziming smiled as she said, "We plan to return to the Western Alliance. Do you want to come to our place to have some fun?" Niu Chun thought about it and found that she had nowhere to go. So she said, "Sure." At that moment, Niu Chun noticed Zhao Fu. Looking at Zhao Fu's perfect face, she asked curiously, "Who is he?" Western Ziming smiled as she said, "He's the person you caught." Niu Chun looked at Zhao Fu in surprise. She had never thought that someone she had caught so casually would be so good-looking. Zhao Fu smiled politely at her. Niu Chun felt annoyed whenever she saw men, so she glared at Zhao Fu. The group walked towards the Western Alliance. Of course, Zhao Fu had an honest look on his face, and Western Ziming could not find anything wrong with him. She could only suppress the dissatisfaction in her heart. After walking for a long time, a gray light landed in front of them. It was Yu-Jun. Seaman Meng said coldly, "What do you want now?" Yu-Jun smiled as he explained, "Don't misunderstand. My target isn't you." Yu-Jun looked at Niu Chun. Niu Chun's expression was cold as she said, "Why are you looking for me?" Yu-Jun smiled as he said, "Niu Hu agreed to let you accompany me for a night, so I came. Come with me now." "What?" Niu Chun looked furious. Niu Chun had never thought that Niu Hu would be such a bastard. He did not know that she had betrayed him and still wanted to give her to someone else. Yu-Jun smiled as he said, "Seeing that you're so beautiful, it's a pity to give you Niu Hu. Why don't you follow me in the future?" Niu Chun said furiously, "Scram." Yu-Jun smiled as he said, "Then I can only take you away." Western Ziming blocked in front of Niu Chun and said coldly, "She's my friend now. I won't allow you to take her away." Yu-Jun was quite angry. He had tolerated her before, but now she was acting like this again. He said coldly, "Hurry up and hand her over. This has nothing to do with you." Western Ziming replied, "I said before that she's my friend. I won't hand her over to you." Boom! Yu-Jun gave off an eerie and powerful aura as he quickly grabbed at Western Ziming, and an eerie and cold gale blew out. Western Ziming also gave off a powerful aura and rushed over. The two of them clashed, and waves of power continuously spread out, easily shattering the rocks on the ground and making people feel fear, as expected from two shocking geniuses. However, Yu-Jun was a bit stronger and was gradually suppressing Western Ziming. At that moment, Western Ziming's people also gave off powerful auras and rushed over to join the battle. If they did not join, Western Ziming would definitely lose. With the help of his subordinates, Western Ziming's advantage became greater, and he sent Yu-Jun flying with a final punch. Yu-Jun called out savagely, "This prince will remember this and will definitely take revenge in the future." Swish! Yu-Jun turned into a gray ray of light and shot over the horizon, disappearing. He could not defeat Western Ziming, so he naturally would not stay here. He could only run, and Western Ziming did not chase after him. Chapter 3014. Book 1, Chapter 454. Niu Chun said, "Thank you." Sean Meng said gently, "You're welcome. I never thought that Niu Hu would be such a bastard to give you to someone else." Niu Chun said angrily, "Niu Hu is quite strong, but he's just an idiot. I've already decided to cut off all ties with him, and I don't want to see him again. Even if he dies in front of me, I won't save him. Xin Ming said worriedly that Yu Jun is not to be trifled with. He'll be a hidden danger in the future. Xin Ming nodded seriously. Zhao Fu came up and smiled as he said to Xin Ming, "Don't worry, Ziqing, I'll protect you." Xin Ming gave a sweet smile and nodded. She quite liked what Zhao Fu said. Xin Ming frowned and said, "Apart from looking good, what else are you good for? You're so weak, yet you say you'll protect my little sister?" Now that Zhao Fu had suppressed his cultivation to a very low level, they did not know Zhao Fu's true strength. Zhao Fu explained, "I'll do my best to cultivate for Ziqing." Hearing such mushy words, Xin Ming happily smiled and said, "I believe you." Xin Ming felt even more jealous and angry. "Then cultivate well in the future." Xin Ming turned and left. Xin Ming hurriedly went up to persuade her big sister not to be angry at Zhao Fu. Even though he did not have the strength, it was enough that he had the intention. Zhao Fu gave a trace of a smile and walked behind her, looking quite shameless. Niu Chun looked at Zhao Fu and the Shiman sister strangely and did not know what had happened after she had left. That night, the sky was a deep blue, and there were a few stars twinkling. Niu Chun sat on a hill by herself and thought about how she had felt today, and tears welled up in her eyes. Even though she looked quite ferocious, she was a good person, which could be seen from how she had helped Xin Ming capture Zhao Fu. She didn't do anything during the day and tried her best not to be seen by others. Now that she was alone, she didn't have to hide anymore. Tears flowed out, and she grabbed the grass beside her and threw it forward. She and Nyo, who had been childhood sweethearts, and their marriage was approved by their parents. Ever since she was young, she treated herself as Nyo-hu's wife and helped Nyo-hu with all sorts of things. Although Nyo-hu was very talented, he wasn't very smart. He needed Nyo-chun's help in many things. However, Nyo-chun was more domineering. It made Nyo-hu feel like he was controlling him. He didn't let him do anything and was often angry at him. This made Nyo-hu very uncomfortable. Nyo-chun thought that she was helping Nyo-hu and thought that she was treating Nyo-hu very well. She didn't expect that Nyo-hu would betray her and give her to someone else. Thinking of this, Nyo-chun became even sadder, and tears streamed down her cheeks. A handkerchief was handed over to her. Nyo-chun turned her head and saw that it was Zhao Fu. Nyo-chun looked at Zhao Fu's perfect face. Although this guy in front of her was a little weak, Nyo-chun couldn't help but admit that Zhao Fu was very good-looking. There was almost no woman who wouldn't be moved by his looks. Nyo-chun took the handkerchief and said, "Thank you." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "You're welcome." Nyo-chun wiped her tears with the handkerchief. Zhao Fu said gently, "If there's anything unhappy, you'll feel better if you talk about it. You don't have to be sad for people like Nyo-hu. It's not worth it. You're a good woman." Zhao Fu's words were extremely shameless. Didn't he know what kind of person he was? Moreover, his motive for coming here was not simple. After being grabbed by Nyo-chun like that, Zhao Fu immediately wanted to take revenge. He wasn't that kind. Nyo-chun nodded and couldn't help but talk about her past with Nyo-hu. Zhao Fu listened attentively and said gently, "You love Nyo-hu very much, but it's a pity that Nyo-hu can't bear it. You chose the wrong person." Nyo-chun nodded and said apologetically, "I'm sorry about what happened today. I thought you were a bad person, but I didn't expect you to be a good person." Zhao Fu smiled like the spring sun and said gently, "It's okay. I didn't care about it." Nyo-chun smiled and felt much more cheerful. Zhao Fu sighed with some melancholy. Nyo-chun asked curiously, "What's wrong?" Zhao Fu looked at Nyo-chun affectionately and said, "I'm wondering why I haven't met such a good woman like you." Nyo-chun blushed and said in a low voice, "You'll meet one in the future." Zhao Fu reached out and held Nyo-chun's hand. Nyo-chun blushed and retracted her hand in a fluster. "Don't be like this." Zhao Fu pushed Nyo-chun down and looked at her affectionately and said, "I like you. I can swear that I won't let you down." Nyo-chun's heart was beating fast and her face was red. "I'm not such a casual woman." Zhao Fu said gently, "Nyo-hu has already betrayed you. You don't have to think about him. Now, you have to live for yourself. Neo-chun blushed and said softly. At this moment, Neo-hu woke up from the brothel. He looked at the bewitching women on the bed and walked down from the bed. He heard the sound from the room beside him and pushed open the door. Yu-jun was in the middle of being intimate with a woman. When he saw Neo-hu enter, he smiled and said, "Brother Neo, you're awake?" Neo-hu smiled and said, "Yes, Brother Yu-jun, I won't disturb you anymore. I'm going to look for my wife. She's probably very angry now." Yu-jun smiled and said, "I was about to talk to you about this. Didn't you agree to let your wife accompany me? But your wife is with Siemens Meng. Now, come with me to bring her back." Neo-hu said blankly, "When did I say I would give my wife to you?" Yu-jun smiled and said, "When we were drinking earlier." Neo-hu also told Yu-jun about his wife. Yu-jun gave Neo-hu a suggestion, which was to make Neo-chun jealous and suppress her arrogance. Neo-hu felt that it was a good idea to let Neo-chun see that he had a lot of women. Moreover, he did not resist the temptation. When Neo-chun saw him with the women, she turned around and ran away. Neo-hu regretted it at first, but Yu-jun persuaded him to stay and drink with Yu-jun. When Neo-hu was drunk, Yu-jun saw the beautiful Neo-chun and her fierce look. He was very interested and asked Neo-hu to let Neo-chun accompany him. At that time, Neo-hu agreed to Yu-jun's request without thinking. Now that Neo-hu knew about it, he was regretful and worried. "My wife must be very angry and sad now. I'm going to apologize to her." Although Neo-hu could not stand Neo-chun's fierceness, they had a very deep relationship since they were young. Neo-hu had never thought of giving up on Neo-chun. Neo-hu went out of the brothel and chased in a direction. Yu-jun was a little bored and couldn't help but think of what had happened before. A trace of viciousness appeared on his face. "Cece Zeeming, you bitch, you dare to ruin my plans twice. I won't let you off." Chapter 30:15. Book 1, Chapter 455. Zhao Fu. Even though Neo-hu hurriedly chased after them, Siemens Meng and the others had already gone far away, and they were still some distance away from the Western Alliance's headquarters. Neo-hu would not be able to catch up so quickly. Neo-chun's face was red as she lay in Zhao Fu's embrace and looked sweetly at Zhao Fu's face. She found that she had found someone she truly loved. Neo-chun had never experienced such a feeling before. Zhao Fu looked at Neo-chun in his embrace. It had been a few hours, and he had finally taken revenge. However, Zhao Fu had fallen in love with Neo-chun. Neo-chun thought about what had happened between Zhao Fu and Siemens Meng and said softly, "Husband, tell me, what is your relationship with Siemens Meng and Siemens Meng?" Zhao Fu felt quite awkward and had almost forgotten about Siemens Meng. He said, "There's nothing between us, but it seems that they both like me." Neo-chun frowned and said, "But I heard you say that you want to protect them and some other things. Why do I feel that I've let them down?" Zhao Fu said, "I don't know how to explain it, but trust me, I truly like you. I definitely won't lie to you about this." Neo-chun's face became red as she hugged Zhao Fu and said, "Husband, I trust you." Zhao Fu let out a sigh of relief. Neo-chun said, "But promise me that you won't do anything to hurt the Shimin sisters or make them sad." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "No problem." Seeing that it was almost daybreak, Zhao Fu and Neo-chun returned to the group. Neo-chun did not look as sad as before, and she instead looked even more alluring. After daybreak, they continued onwards as they were about to reach the Western Alliance's headquarters. Siemens Meng and Siemens Meng did not know about Zhao Fu and Neo-chun, and Siemens Xing was still happily by Zhao Fu's side, while Siemens Meng looked slightly jealous. Neo-chun felt quite embarrassed and felt that she had let down the Shimin sisters. Western Alliance's headquarters Siemens Meng looked at Zhao Fu and said, "My sister and I are going to report this. You and Sister Neo-chun can wait here for a while." Zhao Fu said with a smile. "All right." Siemens and Meng left. Zhao Fu pulled Neo-chun into his arms. Neo-chun blushed and struggled slightly as she said, "Don't be like this." Zhao Fu smiled and said, "Don't be afraid. Leave everything to me." Hearing this, Neo-chun thought for a moment and decided to obey Zhao Fu. Half an hour later, Siemens walked into the room with a smile. She looked at Zhao Fu and said, "Zijuan, My mother wants to see you. Zhao Fu smiled and nodded. He told Siemens that the sisters' names were Siemens, Jun Siemen Qing, pulled Zhao Fu, and walked out. He didn't care about Niu Chun, whose face was flushed. They came to an exquisite hall, and there sat a beautiful woman with a graceful figure and a noble aura. Her name was Shimin Luoli, and she was the fourth Alliance Master of the Western Alliance. She was slightly more powerful than the other Alliance Masters. Shimin Luoli looked at Zhao Fu's perfect looks and lightly smiled as she said, I've never seen such a good-looking man before. No wonder my daughter likes you so much. I can marry my daughter to you, but it depends on whether you have the qualifications. Zhao Fu asked, what qualifications? Shimin Luoli smiled as she said, I don't need you to have any status. In the future, you'll be marrying into my family, but your talent can't be too bad. Zhao Fu smiled as he said, even though I'm not as outstanding as Miss Siemens Meng, I won't be too bad. Shimin Luoli took out a jade orb that was as big as an egg and said, this jade orb is used to test talent and power. Hold in my hand. Shimin Luoli threw the jade orb toward Zhao Fu. Zhao Fu caught the jade orb, and the jade orb immediately absorbed Zhao Fu's power and gave off light. At first, it was white light, then it was gray light, and then it changed a few times before finally becoming a violet light. Shimin Luoli nodded as she said, even though it can't be considered outstanding, it's not bad. You pass on this. Siemens Meng happily smiled. Siemens Meng looked at Zhao Fu with hidden bitterness. Zhao Fu smiled as he asked, what other request do you have? Shimin Luoli's expression became serious as she said, also, I want you to promise that you'll only love my daughter. I know that many women will fall for your face, so I want to plant a restriction in your body. If you fall for another woman, you'll immediately die. How could Zhao Fu agree? He might die in the next second after planting the restriction. He revealed an awkward expression. Shimin Luoli's voice became slightly cold as she said, since you can't do it, I won't agree to you being with my daughter. Please leave. Siemens Meng hurriedly said, Mother, I want to be with him. Even if he can't focus on me, it's fine as long as he has me in his heart. Shimin Luoli immediately refused. No. Shimin Ziqing begged, Mother. At that moment, Zhao Fu said, I'm sorry, I can't focus on loving someone. I originally liked Miss Siemens Meng, but Miss Siemens Meng refused to accept me, so I ended up being with Miss Siemens Meng. Zhao Fu looked at Siemens Meng and said sincerely, I don't just like Miss Siemens Meng. I also like Miss Siemens Meng. I can't focus on one person. Hearing this, Siemens Meng's face became red, and she felt quite flustered, but also a sense of sweetness. Shimin Luoli said angrily, Are you trying to say that you want both of my daughters? Zhao Fu said resolutely, That's right, I want both of them. Hearing Zhao Fu's resolute words, Siemens Meng's heart thumped, and a blush appeared on her beautiful face. Siemens Meng liked Zhao Fu even more because she understood that Zhao Fu had liked her big sister first, and it was she who had snatched Zhao Fu away. Since Zhao Fu was willing to admit his feelings, it meant that he was not someone who would quickly fall in love with others. Shimin Luoli looked furious as she said, Scram, or I'll break your legs. Shimin Ziqing cried out, Mother, no. Siemens Meng also said, Mother, don't hurt him. Shimin Luoli looked at Siemens Meng in surprise as she said, Don't tell me that you also like this stinking brat? Siemens Meng's face became slightly red, and she nodded seriously. Shimin Luoli said, No, I definitely won't marry my two daughters to him. Moreover, Zimeng, you know that I plan to marry you to that child of origin. Siemens Meng turned to look at Zhao Fu and her little sister and made a decision in her heart. Mother, as long as you promise not to obstruct my little sister and him, I'm willing to marry that child of origin without any complaints. Siemens Meng cried out, Big sister, don't be like this. I know you like him too. Siemens Meng smiled and said, Mother told me about this before and I didn't object. Also, it's impossible for me and him to be together. I hope that you can be happy with him. Chapter 30:16. Book 1, Chapter 456. Ravinshiman Luoli said with a headache. You guys can leave first. Let me think about it. The three of them left the hall. Siemens Ching said with tears in her eyes, Big sis. Zhao Fu pretended to be in pain and called out, Zeman. In actuality, Zhao Fu was the child of origin, and no matter what Siemens Meng chose, she would still be his. Siemens Meng smiled and said, You don't have to be like this. Even though I said that I'm going to marry the child of origin, there are many variables. For example, whether or not the child of origin will come and whether or not the child of origin will like me are all unknown. Perhaps if he doesn't come to the Western Alliance, I won't have to marry him. Siemens Ching smiled and nodded. I also hope that he doesn't come. Siemens Meng looked at Zhao Fu and said, I'm actually quite happy that you admitted your feelings for me today. I'm sorry for saying those things because I was jealous. Zhao Fu smiled and said, I don't mind. Zhao Fu smiled and went up to hug the Shimen sisters. The two sisters' faces were red, and they lightly leaned against Zhao Fu's body. Shimen Luoli did not ask Zhao Fu about this matter. After staying in the Western Alliance for 2 days, Zhao Fu could not help but ask about the origin skeleton. To the Western Alliance, Zhao Fu was still an outsider, and the Western Alliance's people were not willing to tell Zhao Fu about such a secret. As such, Zhao Fu could only obtain this information from the Shimen sisters. That night, Zhao Fu looked at the Shimen sisters in his arms. Siemens Meng had sex with Zhao Fu on the first day, and although Siemens Meng did not want to, she could not resist the temptation. Zhao Fu said casually, I heard that the Western Alliance has an origin skeleton. Siemens Meng asked curiously, How do you know about this? Zhao Fu explained, I only heard about it. Origin skeletons are incredibly rare, so I'm quite curious. Siemens Meng chuckled and said, Our Western Alliance does have an origin corpse. It was brought back from some place by our experts a long time ago. Zhao Fu guessed that it was that historical remnant and asked, Where is the origin skeleton now? Siemens Meng replied, Such a precious item would naturally be placed in the most important treasury of the Western Alliance. Zhao Fu asked, How do I enter the treasury? Siemens Meng looked at Zhao Fu suspiciously. Why are you asking so many questions? Are you plotting against the origin corpse? Zhao Fu hurriedly explained, I wouldn't dare. You can't even defeat him now. Even if I obtained such a precious item, it would be useless. Siemens Meng said with a smile, In truth, the essence skeleton is useless to us, and we wouldn't dare to do anything to it. If the origin race comes, the Western Alliance will face a great crisis. Zhao Fu nodded and did not continue to ask. Siemens Meng smiled and said, Big sis, let's take our husband around to have some fun. He's been staying here for so long and feels quite bored. Big sis Niu Chun is the same. They did not know that Zhao Fu and Niu Chun were not bored and often had things to do. Siemens Meng thought about it and said, That's fine. We'll take them around tomorrow. The next day, the weather was bright and sunny. Siemens Meng and her sister brought Zhao Fu and Niu Chun out. Niu Chun had continuously nourished herself over the past few days and had become incredibly beautiful, making the Shimen sisters feel quite envious. At that moment, Niu Hu appeared in front of everyone and happily called out, Wife. Niu Chun stood next to Zhao Fu and looked quite shy. Seeing Niu Hu, her expression became cold as she said, Why are you here? Niu Hu gave a silly smile as he said, I'm sorry, wife. I know I was wrong. I came here to apologize to you. It's not good enough to forgive me. Niu Chun's expression was quite complicated. If Niu Hu had directly come out to apologize, she might have been able to forgive Niu Hu. However, that bastard Niu Hu had given her to someone else, so Niu Chun decided that she would not forgive Niu Hu. Moreover, she loved Zhao Fu more. Seeing Niu Hu, Siemens Meng looked quite angry. You gave big sis Niu Chun to someone else. How do you still have the face to come here? Niu Hu explained, I was drunk at that time and didn't know anything. I definitely wouldn't give my wife to someone else. I can promise that my wife will forgive me this time, all right? Niu Hu looked at Niu Chun hopefully. The Shimen sisters also looked at Niu Chun. Although they did not want Niu Chun to leave with Niu Hu, they could not make the decision for Niu Chun. Neo-chun thought about the memories she had with Neo-hu when they were young, and her heart wavered. However, when she thought about the ridiculous things she had done with Zhao Fu, she blushed and made a decision, saying, "Go back. I'm not your wife anymore." Neo-hu cried out with a sad expression, "Wife, I don't want to." Neo-chun looked at Zhao Fu affectionately, then turned to look at Neo-hu and said, "I've already said it once, and I don't want to say it again." Neo-hu looked at Neo-chun with tears streaming down his face. Siemens Meng said, "Let's go. He brought this upon himself." Neo-chun looked at Neo-hu and felt quite sad, but she still steeled her heart and left with Siemens Meng. Neo-hu did not follow. He felt that his wife was just angry at him. Perhaps if he came back in a few days, his wife would forgive him. Siemens Meng brought Zhao Fu and walked on the streets. Everyone looked at Zhao Fu. No matter if they were men or women, young or old, they had never seen such a good-looking man. They could only see that he had looks that could only be found in the celestial world. Facing everyone's gazes, the three women finally understood why Zhao Fu was wearing a cloak. Siemens Meng said with some jealousy, "Husband, do you want to keep wearing the cloak?" Siemens Meng said, "Forget it, he's our man now, and it's not good to hide it. Instead, it will cause other people to misunderstand. Moreover, with such a good-looking husband, it's quite good for us." Siemens Meng smiled and nodded. Neo-chun's face became slightly red as she looked at Zhao Fu's face. She had to admit that she had been willing to give Zhao Fu face back then. News about Zhao Fu quickly spread, and everyone came over to take a look out of curiosity, crying out in amazement. Shimin Luoli also heard about this and slightly frowned. She was somewhat worried that Zhao Fu's perfect looks would attract unnecessary trouble. As for what had happened between her daughter and Zhao Fu, she did not want to care about it anymore. After all, she knew that Zhao Fu had already done it with her two daughters, and she had personally seen it happen. Thinking about that, Shimin Luoli's face became slightly red. Zhao Fu did not care about this. What he cared about was how to obtain the origin bones. Even though Siemens Meng had not told him about the treasury, Zhao Fu had found out about it through other methods. The treasury was located in the Western Alliance's headquarters, and one needed the medallions of the 12 Alliance Masters to open it. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.